what we do here is go back.
Looks like the frame rate's all a bit messed up. What's going on? Oh dear. Can you hear me and see me? And is it as laggy at your end as it seems to be this end?
Phone.
Just looking at the comments, there will be a bit of a lag.
It's a bit laggy still.
Some frames getting dropped. What's going on here? So frames drop there. Right, it must be the camera. Hold on. I think I know what it is. Let's go into program mode. And then we turn that off. And hopefully you can still hear me. Let's turn that back on. And there we go. Is that? I don't know if that's any better or not. What's going on? No, that's Lagovision. What is going on? Oh dear. I don't know. I give up. Right, ISO. Darkness. Shutter speed. No, that's... There's something very strange going on here. Right, I'm gonna stop stream. Oh God, still doing it. Please don't make me have to restart the PC. Oh, good evening everyone. Is it bearable? I don't think it's going to change, is it? Let me go to the other camera, see if it's doing that as well. Oh, that's the wrong button. Overhead. Yeah, so that's fine, the overhead one, so it must be something to do with the camera. I turn the camera off and turn it back on again. What more do they want from me?
Oh, you did already.
Right, let's try this again.
Can't you sort of just lie on the desk and do it from the overhead?
It's not a bad idea. Oh, don't even go there.
What bet it was, waving back.
Thanks.
USB 2 port used.
USB 2. No, it's on HDMI, so it should be just from the capture card, which I don't understand. Is that better? Is that okay? I can't work out whether it's not. Does that look awful? Is it any better? Yeah, no, there's like definitely some motion blur. What is causing that? I have no idea whatsoever. Let's see, that one overhead. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. This is where I get confused. It's
a stream issue, yes, it looks bad.
But the other camera looks okay. Oh, looks okay on cellular. It's the software, mate. I'm going to try and end. Perfect. That's working. Goddamn OBS. It has been a bit. Let's make sure the other camera works now. Does that work yet? Woo! Unbelievable. Yeah, it has been an absolute nightmare of a week. Everything that I've touched this week has basically gone wrong.
Apart from today.
Well,
until now.
Yeah, until now. Oh dear, it's always OBS, Mike. I should know better.
Damp squib.
Is the Novo mesh causing it? It is the damp squib. No. The reason why this is here, this Tender Nova MX 12 kit. This was
Audio's clipping bad now.
what, loud?
Reduce the gain.
Audio's clipping bad. What's going on here? Normally the audio's awful. 1, 2, oh yeah.
No, Flamey, do you want to go?
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That looks a little bit better, I think. Is that better? Is that better? I don't know. Is that okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's just heading up into the yellow. Worse. Sorted, Welly Bob says. Stuart Cruz says worse. Sound very low. Sound good here. Worse. Too low. Little low. Was fine before. Sound like you're whispering Bob Harris. I don't even know who this Bob Harris is. Right, let's put that back up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now too quiet, someone said. We'll get there. Sound too low. Give us a chance. It was clipping, now it's not. Okay. Is it working okay now? Oh, it's fine. That's better, says Dutch Jan. Goodo. Good, says Willie Bob. Excellent. Sounds good in my headphones, Rakate says. Thank you. Right, awesome. Yes, so this week. Originally, I had a... Well, I've been through various mesh systems through the various years. And some of them have been absolutely brilliant. Some of them have been less good as time has gone on. The trouble is with mesh systems is you buy them at one point when there are some kind of like de facto standards on the market. Now, a lot of them, when I bought them, we were still using, well, to begin with, we were using WEP, the wireless encryption protocol, which then was phased out. We went over to WPA, WPA2, and WPA2 has been pretty good for probably up until about a year or so ago. And then there was vulnerabilities in that. So a lot of people have moved over to WPA3 with a fallback to WPA2 with password shared key or pre-shared key. So if you've got a mixture of different technology in your house, such as smart devices, mobile phones, PCs, NAS boxes, etc., pretty much guarantee that they're all running on different standards. Now this come to a head yesterday when I had the new Merxis AX3000 kit, which came through from Amazon. Pretty decent price, and actually Arali, if you're watching, if you're in the chat, Arali bought one and said that it was pretty decent. So I thought I need to do something because my multi M1, for some reason, whenever Kath went upstairs in the bathroom area, which is kind of weird because there's a router almost like within probably about 3 meters in both directions. Whether or not that was what the problem is and they were overlapping, I don't know.
No,
but
the bathroom was a bedroom.
Well, it was mostly like sat outside the bathroom area, wasn't it?
No, sat here, and then when I went to bed at night every night.
Basically, there were dead zones in the house, which I could never really fathom whether or not it was because there was too much signal, because it's a relatively small house here in the UK with 3 access points, all within probably, I don't know, 20 foot of each other. Which is probably a little bit too close. So tried a new set, got rid of the multi M1s because these were dropping out every now and then. Got the Merxis one. The Merxis one was worse. It was much better in terms of the signal. The signal was really strong across the entire house, but none of the old devices would connect to it. So all of my iMu cameras, of which we've got about 6 of them set up around the home, yeah, basically would not connect at all. So I spent 6 hours yesterday, roughly, possibly a little bit more, trying to get those set up, and tried all sorts, various different things. Even some of my smart switches for the lights just would not work. Absolute nightmare. So around about 1 o'clock this morning, jumped on Amazon, as you do, and ordered this, the Tendonova MX12 kit, which is currently retailing for about £170, which is quite a lot of money. But it has got 3 gigabit ports on each node. There are 3 nodes, and it does have both a web app and also an app that you can put on your phone. And I've used the Tenda MW3s previously. Always liked them. The only thing it lacked, they only had 100 megabit ports on them for the LAN, which we tend to use a lot of gigabit stuff here. You all right, Pops? So I wanted gigabit ports, which the MW6 had, but it was too close really at the time and too expensive. They did get a lot cheaper, so eventually, yeah, didn't go down that route. I kind of wish I had at some point. That may have kind of prolonged things. Anyway, so I thought, what the hell, let's just go for this. This was about £30 more than the Mercusys MX, the Mercusys AC3000 kit. Touch wood, it seems to be working. The signal is really strong. I've managed to get all of the IMU cameras to set up pretty much first time. All of our network now is on one SSID, which works really well.
Touched your head, sorry.
It's yeah, it's basically working very, very well. But it has a very unusual quirk, which I can't work out at the moment. I'm not sure whether it's because I need to turn off every single PC and restart them all. But for some reason, it doesn't show up many LAN devices. It has done, and then they drop off. So you go into the app and it shows you what's connected, but it only seems to want to show devices which are connected wirelessly, which for me is a little bit pointless because I want to see wired and wireless traffic to see where it's all going to, so I don't overload one of the nodes with too much traffic. Anyway, so yeah, this is still a work in progress. I will be doing a review on this coming up very soon. I won't be doing a review on the Mercusys AX3000 because I would strongly suggest that nobody buys it. I'm actually tempted to do a semi-review just to say to people, if you're looking for a wireless mesh kit, it's possibly one of the worst ones you can go for, unless you have extremely limited needs and you literally just want a wireless access point for modern mobile phones and modern tablets. If you're looking for that, it's great. Runs really fast, easy to set up and all that kind of stuff, and relatively inexpensive. We'll handle up to 1200 megabit connections for 5 gigahertz, which is basically Wi-Fi 6. So yeah, that's okay. This is only Wi-Fi 6. There was an option for a Wi-Fi 6E version, which is the MX 1500, but the price has got to about £229, which I don't really use wireless in that capacity. So anyway, long story short, if I possibly can, this was actually well worth buying, and I'm glad I got around to doing it finally. I have been umming and ahhing. I always missed those tender mesh units. You probably, if you look back at some of the really old videos from the channel, there was about 2 or 3 videos I did on the tender Nova MW3s, and I really liked them. They had fantastic range, they worked really well. They were just limited on their Ethernet capabilities, but now it's all good. So, Nick Barnes.
The latest security STD.
Yes, the
tick-ups with EMU.
The IMU cameras. Well, there's 2 things that IMU cameras really like to have when you're trying to connect. One of which is 2.4 gigahertz dedicated band, which I didn't use, but it is preferable. But they also like to be on just a normal WPA2 connection. So a lot of routers will only do either WPA2 mixed, or well, basically one of the other ones. So it's actually quite difficult to get a modern router just to do WPA2 on its own without doing the mixed WPA3. So yeah, this router managed to do it. As soon as I turned it to WPA2 standard mode, went in, and even though there's a 5 gigahertz and a 2.4 gigahertz SSD, both identical, went into the app, selected it, it connected straight away, and I was like, oh my god, this is such a relief. It's unbelievable how much of a relief it was. After spending probably 8 to 9 hours trying to configure those things yesterday and getting it all running today, it's actually working. Yeah, it's actually working quite well. And actually, if I can, I'm going to make sure it's still working. The one thing I can't get working at the moment is my NAS. For some reason, my NAS is going absolutely bananas. But I think that is more because I did a security update and I do a dodgy hack to get a 2.5 gigabit LAN connection working on USB, which is not designed to do. And every time you do a security update, it obliterates that little bit of software that makes that work. So I've had to revert back to gigabit connection, which isn't the end of the world, but it seems to be working.
We're still using Teotronic units, they work fine.
Yeah, the Teotronic. I missed the Teotronic was actually pretty decent, and of all the ones I've had, that was the one which had the most features and was probably one of the better ones.
But we got rid of it because that was when our internet was playing up, wasn't it? And
Yeah,
thought it would-
our internet was playing up from Virgin Media, so I thought it might have been those. So I bought new ones to replace it. Yeah, the Teotronics, they were really good. So yeah, at the moment it's showing 16 clients connected.
Buffering apparently, but mine's not.
Buffering, I don't seem to have any drop frames there, so it might not be here. Virgin Media issues in your street? No, not at the moment. No, it's all running well. Oh, that's what I was going to check. My
Well, it keeps dropping out, but
my iMu cameras.
so you don't know if it's those new boxes or
Oh, that's
yesterday,
Hive,
wasn't
isn't it?
it? More so.
Yeah, there's just been so many little things which have been going slightly pear-shaped. It's been driving me very mad. And yeah, there is the there's our driveway camera, and there's the front door camera. I have many cameras. It's very good. The back garden. Well, that one's taking a bit longer to start up. That's never a good sign. Actually, which one is that? That's the outdoor.
That's the Poppy Dora webcam.
Ah, I know why that is. Literally before I started the stream, I did a forced update on the 2 tenders out the back. So they may not be working now. That'll be just my luck. I'm going to have to reconnect some. Yeah, streaming error. I bet it's got a red light flashing on it. That is going to annoy me. Garden, living room. Yeah, living room's working fine. Kitchen. Kitchen probably won't work because that's on the same
Bet you have one
router.
that covers the stripper pole.
I know. Kitchen one's
No, we
working.
don't.
None on the stripper pole. Backyard. Is backyard working? I bet it's just the garden one that's not working then. That'll be a... Yeah. Oh, well, so one of the cameras has dropped off for some reason. I don't know why. I give up. Anyway, so that was part of this week's conundrum. Also, I bought a new monitor. The Lenovo, which I posted in the Discord chat. And it's arrived and it's basically got a red tint to it. I don't know what is wrong with it. I've tried 3 different graphics cards, 2 different cables, and even in the BIOS, the red just looks mad. It's very, very fluorescent, and I thought it was just me. And actually, Dave Aitken, if he's in the chat at the moment, I'm not sure if he will be because he's been busy. But Dave come round to pick up his case and looked at the screen and he's like, "Wow, that's really red." And I went to CEX. If you go to CEX's website now and have a look at it, there's got a lot of red on it. And it literally looked like, I don't know, it was just bizarrely fluorescent. And I did the color calibration, and weirdly the color calibration came back as being 99% of the sRGB gamut. So the screen calibration software seemed to think that it was okay, but to the human eye it just looks absolutely bugged out. And it was like, purples looked really, really like the Joker sort of purple. That really kind of like in your face purple is mad. Yes, Kath?
Johnny's asked, can you do port forwarding and set up custom DNS servers on the tender?
Yes. Yes, you can choose DDNS. You can choose custom DNS ones. So if you want to do like 4444, 8888, 0000, 1111, all those sorts of things, you can do those. If you want to set up your own unique DNS, that all works fine. Yeah, and port forwarding, definitely, yeah, because I can forward ports from the outside world to my NAS for remote access. And also I can do basically, yeah, opposite way around. So if you've got, you can also open up a DMZ as well. So if you want to have external access to programs or whatever, you can do. So yes, it's very, very, very nice. The tender is, the monitor sucks. And Lenovo, trying to get Lenovo to actually do an RMA on it, I had to take some pictures of it. And you all know that if you take a picture of anything with a camera, especially modern phone cameras, it does that kind of artificial thing to it anyway, so it's never going to be like a proper good look at what is going on. But actually, saying that, I have got a picture of it. I'll show you a picture of it on my phone, so you can get an idea of what I was working with. I don't think I've deleted it yet, because I wanted to keep it for reference purposes, because they didn't want to return it. They're like, well, we don't kind of think that's right, and also, have you got a receipt? It's like, well, I kind of haven't, because the servers are down. And they're like, well, we can't take it back without a PDF invoice. It's like, well, if you can't give me an invoice, I cannot provide you with one. So they're like, well, why don't you speak to customer services? It's like, well, why don't you bloody speak to customer services? It's not my freaking job, is it? Bastards.
You're unloading the lorry next week.
Yeah, they will. They'll have me delivering the bloody things next. Okay, so here is... I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this very well, but that was a picture. Yeah, you can't really see it on there. So that, to me, that looks like super, super inflated. So that's a picture of the screen as it was. It actually, looking at it on this phone,
That's orange.
it's supposed to be orange.
Oh, it is orange.
On screen, it looks right. It's like it's
So
cut.
it's like that little bit of red at the bottom there.
Yeah, if you put it next to me, it depends what angle it's on, I suppose. That angle there is more what it looks like in real life. But yeah, it's basically horrendous. And it looks nothing like what it should do. So I tried to adjust the colours, etc. And I thought, well, actually, no, sod it. I shouldn't have to do this. And I spoke to the tech guy again and said, look, I don't mind. I can probably adjust out some of it, but it's just the gamma for the reds is just like way off the chart. So I've tried to reduce it all, but then if you take some of the red out, you also lose the other colour definition. And it's an IPS panel, so it's supposed to be pretty colour accurate. And he said, actually, in fairness, he said that, to be honest with you, you shouldn't have to do that. It's supposed to be just you plug it in, and it's pretty well calibrated from the factory, so you shouldn't have that issue. So I said, yeah, that is my whole thing. So they're collecting it on Monday. So
You've taken the stand.
yeah, I've got to take the stand and all the power off and all that and stick it in a box, but they're going to collect it on Monday. Goes back to them, and eventually they'll send something back. So I'm going to have fun and games. I'm going to have a different monitor. I don't want to put my curved monitor back on there because I like my eyes. Anyway,
Right, say hello.
there you go. Yes, hello everybody. How are we?
Well,
It's been an absolute nightmare this week. Pretty much anything that could have gone wrong at some point has. Although saying that, somebody came around today with a laptop to fix. It was going to be, I was hoping to do a fix or flop, but actually it was one of those things where it's so hard to actually see and or do that it was pointless. And essentially what it was, somebody got a SIM card stuck in their laptop. So some laptops have actually got 4G or 5G connectivity. Put a SIM card in so you can get external access, etc., etc. And some of you will probably know this. When you buy a SIM card these days, it comes in like the maxi size. There's also cutouts, so you've got like the MIDI size, and then you've got the micro SIM or mini SIM or whatever it is. You're basically the tiny one in the middle. And for some reason, when the SIM card went in, the actual inner mini bit or micro SIM dropped out of the ring, but the ring came out. So yeah, it was the mini SIM was kind of just stuck in there dangling around, and you couldn't push it in further to make it spring back out or anything. So I ended up doing a rather ingenious thing, got a SIM tool and actually cut it up. So your SIM tool's got like a oblong hole. Looks almost like a Dyson fan, if you imagine that shape. So I got it and I cut it and just left a little tiny bit of the curl at the bottom, which was just enough for me to get it in, push it down behind the SIM, and then sort of pull it out, like scooping it out. And managed to get the SIM card out. So it was happy days. So I fixed the thing, everybody. Woo! That made me happy. The rest of the day didn't. I'm not sure about you. Tell me in the comments. I am actually genuinely interested to know. I know from one other person that has had this problem. Has anybody had either missed deliveries or rescheduled or just completely like
Not
useless delivery? Yeah, they've just not turned up.
as in deliveries to pick up or...
This week from DPD,
Actually,
UPS,
that case we thought would come last Saturday for the stream, didn't we?
Royal Mail, yeah, that's true, and Yodel. And of the, I don't,
Every in it now.
or every, yeah. Basically, I've been waiting almost a week now for one parcel, which actually was supposed to be tonight's stream. We were going to be doing a stream for the Thermaltake, the Series 300, which the actual review video is supposed to go live on Tuesday morning. So bear in mind it's now Saturday evening. The likelihood of that happening is diminishing by the hour. So yeah, there seems to be something bizarre going on. Dave said that his Amazon parcel was delayed a day. we've had a couple of things like AWDIT. I ordered a power supply from. It was supposed to be here on Tuesday.
Collection.
Ended up on Thursday. No. Yesterday, Friday. Did it arrive yesterday?
It arrived yesterday.
Yeah, so 3 days late. I think that was Royal Mail. Yeah, it's basically been a nightmare. Absolutely nightmare. So I've had things not turning up. I've had things that have turned up not working. And normally in a week we make 5 videos. That is the kind of the basic kind of the line. So if I make more than 5, great. If I can add another one in somewhere, fantastic. This week I think we maybe squeezed 4. Did we do 4 videos this week?
I think you did, because you did 2 on one day because you thought you'd catch up.
Yeah, it's like, yes, I'm finally catching up. And it was like all week doing an extra video, doing a little bit more editing in the morning, making a video in the day, and then working like late, trying to get it done. And it's all been like really long videos to do, like benchmarking and testing and all that kind of stuff.
They're not long videos. They're just
so yeah, it's been an absolute nightmare. Every single time this week I've tried to get myself ahead, and I actually had to bump a couple of videos to make room for doing the thermal take video. And then the case didn't turn up. And there's a couple of thermal take cases here ready to go back. So I've got a hallway full of cases. I've got stuff that I need to review. It's just, yeah, it's been absolute nightmare. I'm going to be glad to go to work in the shop tomorrow morning. Actually get a rest and just have a normal day in my life. It would be great. And hopefully if I can figure out the problems with all the other stuff that's going on, like the NAS and the rest of the networking, then it'll be nice to get back to one place where I was about a week ago. Actually having a working monitor as well. That's going to be dragging on for another week. Oh, having said that, the Radeon RX 6900 XT, which went back to eBuyer, has finally been sorted out. That's been refunded and sorted. So yeah, I am, again with that one, I'm literally where I was like 3 months ago. So it seems like I'm just juggling soot or running through treacle this week. Oh dear.
See, we have lovely...
Oh, William Bodie saying the virus did start with DHL Germany. Oh, there's another virus going around, is there? That wouldn't surprise me. Skystalker says absolutely have had issues with deliveries. I think it's a global thing. A lot of people are saying about it at the moment. Yeah, I'm
Parcel
not
Force
too
has been going on
sure.
for ages because we had 2 missed collections from us, didn't we?
Yeah. It's just,
And it
yeah.
took over a week to get some out. And then they cancelled one that had like fresh meat in. And they were saying it's going to be delivered today, and then it's changed.
William Bodie says the virus of not doing the job. Yes, there's been a lot of that. Actually, I should... Viewer activity, I'm so bloody rude. Super chats which have come in. We had a £2 super chat from Ugly Bob doing the disco thing. And is my disco ball working? Yeah, it is, because it came on just now, didn't it? I think.
Yeah.
I'm sure it did. We also got a €10 from Stuart Cleary. Thank you very much, Stuart. It says, nice to know it's going ahead. Nice one. Hi all. How you doing? Mick Woods as well. Hi Mike, Kath and all Mubbers. Another Saturday night, another live stream, yes. I was tempted to do Adamant IT and pull a sickie, but I didn't bother. He's not sick, by the way, he's just knackered, so he didn't do a stream. Fair play to him. If you're potentially watching this whilst drinking, you won't be. But yeah, hopefully you get some rest and feel better for next week. And that goes for Cardog as well.
Mark Berry says he knows the local Royal Mail postie, so that helps. Well, the lady
The
lady that comes here is just so happy and cheerful. She is just lovely.
I think that's what it is. The lady that comes here from Royal Mail, she is ridiculously bubbly. I don't mean fat.
No,
She's like really like cheerful and upbeat and happy and smiley. I think she does it on purpose so you don't go mad at her for having late parcels.
Angel said, "Oh my god, that's the happiest post person I've ever seen." And then our everyone's are quite good, aren't they, as well?
Yeah.
but it's never for us. It's always for Angel.
Oh, I should have said Adamant IT. I should say Graham is his name.
And also, you were doing super chats.
Yes, super chat. Sorry, yeah, Mick was that one. Ugly Bob did another one for £10. Learned a life lesson today. Never compliment a woman's moustache, no matter how epic it is. I was gonna say even if it's epic, but I was using dramatic license there. Are these actually popping up? They're not, are they? Sod it. It's not working again. Whatever. Michael T's also sent in $5 Thank you very much, Michael T, for the kitty food.
Do you hear that, Poppy?
They eat better than me. Oh, bless.
Did you say thank you?
Ugly Bob says, that's because Royal Mail don't test people's piss yet. That's why she's so happy.
Nice, and that gets rid of
She's loving it.
Nice and clears those tests, I think.
Right, so what else have I got to discuss and talk about? I think that is kind of up to date. Right, we're going to take a look at the case in a minute, because Kath has got her legs on it at the moment, using it as some kind of footstool. How disrespectful. There was something else I wanted to show you. I can't think what it was.
She's on the Royal Mail marching.
The Royal Mail marching pills. I'm going to say that one. That's good.
Oh, she's so nice.
I have a product which I don't think I'm allowed to show you yet, but I'm going to show you anyway because they're in China, so they're only going to come over and knock on my door. This has got to be. It might knock on my camera. Yeah. Hey, what you do, Mike? Instant karma. Right, let's put this down. Let's do the overhead camera because this actually deserves to be seen properly. So this is the Alzeye Infinity i360. Now when this came through, like I knew... Thanks, Bob. Paul Baker says, oh, it's from Temu. It's not actually. This was directly from people themselves. And, sorry. See if we're camera on this? Sorry, I can't see that. PayPal, Face ID. Come on. What's going on there? Colin Hilton, thank you very much for your £10 contribution via PayPal. Much appreciated, Colin. You're a lovely man. I don't care what they say about you. I disagree. I think you're great. I'm only kidding. Colin's awesome.
Oh, I love Colin.
Colin's great.
Well, I'm jealous of his weather.
Oh,
because it's sunny every day.
Yeah, we've had some shit weather this week, let's be fair. Oh. Right, anyway, so this is from Alzeye. The packaging on this alone is like insane. I don't think I've seen packaging like this before for a product from Alzeye. Normally it's just like a bit of cardboard and a sticker. But this is the shit. So this is the Infinity i360 dual pump system with digital status screen and cable-free connection fans. Boom. Opening up and we see the Alzeye i360. This is like a proper, almost like a, well, I'm not sure whether this is like a reviewer's kit or not. I don't think it is, but you never know. So anyway, ARGB sync, interlocking fan design, gravity coaxial with ultra long life, that's for the pump, real-time CPU and GPU status display, high balance thermal conductivity, 20mm high density aluminium radiator, universal compatibility. Sorry, just reading what Bob's just put there. Dual pump with patented technology. And as you can see, there is a slightly exploded view of what is all going on there. So you've got dual pumps, one on the cold side, one on the hot side. Happy days, looks good. And it gives you an idea slightly there of what is going on. So there is the number 39 there. Shame it wasn't 36 to go with the 360, but anyway.
When you take that off, has it got Lisa's shoes?
Lisa's shoes. So this is what you get. So you've got a water block, you've got the 3 fans, you've got this absolute gem of a cooler. Look at that. That is just amazing. This is the NVIDIA Founders Edition of water coolers. Look at the detailing on this. It looks like it. Actually, what is the in Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back? These look like the things that got blown up at the Rebel base.
It's catching the light a bit there. Oh, they are.
And so you can see there, so it's even marked up. So that is the cold inlet,
See that there?
and that is the hot. And look at this. It's all good. I love this. This is really nice. Alrighty, thank you for the £10 there. It says, now if everything unboxing, if every unboxing moment in life was this swish. I know, right? This has got Hoth power. The generator shields and Hoth, that's the one.
Carlsberg did unboxing.
Stuart Cleary says, most important question, how much moolah? Yes, that is a very, very good question. This I am not entirely sure of at the moment. I haven't even looked. But it's Alzeye are traditionally a relatively budget brand, so I can't imagine it being overly expensive.
Can you rotate the display in software?
I don't know, because I have not installed the software yet. That is a very good question. We will be finding that out when it all gets put together. So let's take this out of the box a minute.
The shield generators on hot.
That's the Badger. So even like this, the shield for this, we've even got the cutouts in the cardboard just to make sure that it all stays in one piece. They've got the Alzeye logo in there in like this nice silvery grey. I'm not sure if that's picking up on the camera or not.
Probably not, because it keeps catching.
It's really nice. Absolute, yeah, it's just been really well made. And it's actually a slimline rad as well, it's only 20mm. So that is going to be helpful for some people. So let's put that to one side. But look at that. That pump is just incredible. Kath's going to see if she can find a price, aren't you, Kath?
Yeah.
I don't think you'll find it on eBay at all, but you never know.
eBay or Amazon?
We won't find it on Amazon. The fans...
Where would I find it? eBay, you reckon? More so?
Possibly, yeah.
Should I just look at that on Google? What is it called? Alzeye?
Alzeye i360. These blades, I know this is just a stupid thing to do, but just turning that, there's absolute gale force going through there. And they've done some really, really nice detailing on the blades. Let's see if you can... Very, very high quality. And also, you'll notice on the side, they've got the interlocking doodads. So you can snap them together, which makes life so much easier. So there we go, 3 fans put together straight away. Nice logos, got the Alzeye i12 on both sides, so depending which way you mount it. Pretty weighty as well. And to connect it all up, this is the connectivity.
Not pre-pasted sachet of no-name goop.
No pre-pasted sachets of no-name goop. And to connect it up, just pop this on the end, and I think that snaps in.
You can tell it didn't come from AliExpress.
There we go.
There's no chainmail clippings in it.
So nice cables, just 2 cables coming off for the 3 fans for the RGB and the pass-through. I think this looks amazing. I'm really looking forward to trying this out. I've actually got a whole bunch of 360mm rads, so I'm going to be doing a 360mm rad kind of group test just to see which ones are the best and which is like good value for money and all that kind of usual stuff, you know, because not everybody wants all the features. Some people want something nice and plain which performs very well. Other people want all the lights and all the goodies, that kind of stuff. So we're going to do some testing. It does actually come as well with a little SATA based controller. So if you don't have addressable RGB, you can put some RGB through it. That's pretty handy. And also there is the cables there to plug it into the side of the pump head for your RGB and all that kind of stuff. No remote controls or anything, which is probably for the best, to be fair. So yeah, a very, very nice looking product from Alzeye. Which I've got to say again, Alzeye are not a brand which you automatically associate with being like quality gear.
AliExpress have it.
AliExpress have it, and
Alibaba.
Alibaba.
£81.50. Sorry, in US dollars. 81.
So if you buy it on Alibaba, they are currently selling it for $81.
That's if you buy
but you've got to buy 6 of them. So we can certainly expect to see it retailing. I would imagine this is going to be about...
Matthew Day said £116.54 on AliExpress.
Yeah, I was going to say it's got to be about 120, 130 quid, realistically.
William Bodian's all nice and good, but if a fan breaks down, can you buy a new one?
Well, that is the point, yes. The Alzeye i12 fans apparently are going to be sold separately, and also they're going to do the i14s as well. So they're doing the whole kind of shooting match with all that stuff. So yes, I am pretty pleased with this. I'm looking forward to testing this out and seeing how it does. I was just impressed with the actual packaging. I think they've done a really good job on the packaging. As soon as you get it and you open it, you're like, okay, this isn't your usual kind of just crappy cardboard box. And on the back there, it's got the specifications, and they've actually done the printing. Also, it's all been printed in nice and metallic. So it just looks really premium. So the pump speed up to 3200 RPM, ceramic bearings in there. You've also got the actual radiator, 396mm. That's actually pretty good, because anything under 400 almost guarantees compatibility with a lot of cases. So it's all aluminium, so no worries there. What else we got? Fan speeds between 800 and 1800 RPM, which is about where you want to see. At the top end, looking at about 80 CFM. That's quite a lot.
Yeah, it pops out.
At 1800 RPM. Static pressure, not the highest to be fair. 2.46 millimeters H2O. Ideally would have liked to have seen that a little bit higher. But that isn't always important. What is important is actually what it fits as well. Because this fits Intel, basically everything from 1115X up to LJ1700, which is you'd expect. But for AMD, you're looking at AM5, AM4, AM3, AM2 Plus, AM2, FM1 and Threadripper TR4. So this fits basically kind of every AMD socket in the last, what, 15 years? Thereabouts. Someone look up, when did AM2 come out? I'm sure AM2 came out about 15 years ago. So this is going to give you some serious longevity. I like it. I'm very pleased. I was a little bit hesitant when they said, Mike, can we send you our new 360mm radiator? I was a little bit concerned, but...
Carrie's already done it.
Kerry Holzman? What, he's reviewed it?
I think so.
The
video.
Dirty bastard. He probably has.
6 minute 30 video.
Has he?
It looks like, well, that's when
He's not going to review that in 6 minutes 30. Come on. It's Kerry Holzman. He wouldn't even said his name by then.
Live, Alzeye.
Infinite.
Isn't that the same one?
1 month ago. Yeah, he did. Oh, and then another one.
No, that's Alzeye themselves.
Double pump. Right. Bloody Holzman. I'll have you. You bastard. Right. Bob sent something in this week as well, which I'm going to have to get out because I'm just a kid at heart. And then as soon as we've done this, we'll have a look at the case because that's what most of you have tuned in for.
And you'll say hello to everyone.
And then I'll say hello to everyone. Hi.
Bit late now. AM2 was released on May the 23rd, 2006.
2006, so closer to 20 years. Well, 18, no. What year are we in?
23, only 3 years
The
old.
year of our Lord, yeah.
17.
Yeah, so I was pretty close. Christ, that's a long time ago. Anyway, Bob, being Bob, ugly Bob, drunken Bob, sent this, the HS420 blazing dring from Hollystone. When I open this up, I'm like, that's exactly, Poppy, what I thought. Sorry, I got indigestion. I rammed a sandwich down my throat before I started the stream. Am I still on the overhead? Yes, I am.
That was that.
So,
Bottle opener, Bob, you rammed down your throat.
yeah, yeah. I'm not sure I left. I tried this last Sunday. I got home from the shop last Sunday, I think it was. I was like, what the hell have I been sent now? What's Bob done?
What's Bob done, Pops?
What's he done? I got 2 batteries there. I wonder what they're for. I think they might be for this controller. Or did I leave the batteries in here? I can't remember.
Maybe.
So anyway, a very small writing, almost not possible. This controller, it took me ages to work out how to turn this on. I'm looking around it and like, well, there's a trim there, and there's all kinds of stuff here. Right, batteries, they go in there clearly. So yeah, we got batteries in, that's all good. I actually tried 2 of those GP Ultra batteries in there with that third one, and I couldn't get it to work and nothing was coming on. So what the bloody hell's going on? So I chucked in a couple of Duracells because that's all I had. And I'm looking around and thinking, like, pressing buttons, and that's not working, that's not working, that's not working.
She's under your camera wires.
And I just could not work it out for the life of me. So I actually had to look in the instructions included, and this bit flips up to hold your phone. So you can see what is going on when you're actually flying, because you can connect it up to your mobile phone to get a first person view. And at which point I realised there's actually a power button which you can turn on. Who'd have thought it? So I was there for literally half an hour looking around thinking, whoa, how the bloody hell do you turn it on? What's this nonsense that Bob sent now? The bastard. It's Sunday afternoon. I should be chilling, and instead I'm getting vexed over this bloody thing. Then, to make matters worse, I got this little drone thing. This is so cute. It's ridiculous. It's tiny. Measurements wise, we are looking at about 3 inches, 3.5 inches on a warmer day, and yeah, 3.5 inches that way. And this was the same deal. I'm like looking at this and going, well, where's the bloody power button? How do you turn this fecker on? So the battery's charged from USB.
What's Grumpy saying, Pops?
They were very good. So I thought, well, I'll put the battery, maybe it just like turns itself on when you got the battery connected. I don't know. I'm looking around, there's all sorts of stuff here. There's a little camera lens at the front, and I'm looking around like, how the hell do you turn it on? Do you press the camera or do something? Then I realised, again, I picked up the I picked up the instructions, and look, on the back there's a tiny little power button. So
massive to anyone else's eyes.
To anyone else, it's huge. So you turn this on, and then you turn this on. Press and hold it, and you've got a flashing light. And I'm pretty sure you do. Yeah, up, down, then up. Whoa. So now that's alive-o. So let's go on to the main camera. You can see it, there it is. So you press the, I think it's that button. And there you go. It's come over this way. Oh, sounds like I got some flat battery.
Poppy Dora isn't going to have that.
Down.
Oh, she's got a fat tail. Why don't you do it in front of the camera?
I'm trying. I'm not that good.
You said it was easy.
I lied.
There we go, there we go. Get it, Poppy. No down. No, that's over the back of the camera, babe.
I know, I'm trying. Oh, it's blowing a gal. There we go. So it's actually...
It's very windy.
It's blowing a breeze. I think I should have trimmed it or something. I must read the instructions on how to do that.
Why is it bleeping?
I don't know.
Can you land it on your own head?
There you go. You press the button again, you can land it. I don't know why this is bleeping. It's telling me something. I don't know what it's telling me. What are you telling me? Hello?
Battery's flat.
Well, it's showing 4 bars on the battery thing. Where's the...
He's got performance issues on camera.
Yep. Take photo, record video, return left.
2-minute warning, Lo. 3 beeps is read the instructions. See if you can land it on your own head. Oh, Poppy Dora's got the fattest tail.
Sorry, Pops.
It's not Poppy, Grandpa's driving it. It's telling you in Morse that you're a shit drone pilot.
Ah. So it's actually relatively easy to control, even though I am a bit of a dipstick. It's got, oh, I know what it is. I haven't centered the gyro, have I? I don't think.
You were really good at flying it the first time.
I know. I'm doing less good this time. Wonder if it's because I haven't set the ground level. I don't know.
It's freezing. You need to do that when it's actually hot, yeah.
Right.
Lucky man.
Yeah.
Whoops, I've tuned into place.
I wonder if this is... I think the batteries must be flat, and that's why that thing has gone to bed. Anyway, let's turn it off.
Go and kill it, Pops.
Is that off now?
Yeah.
And to turn it off, you press the little button on the back.
Go kill it.
Good fun. That bleep means you crashed. Maybe it's the batteries. Anyway.
Oh, she's so jumpy.
I'm gonna definitely have to read the instructions, but it's very, very cool. Thank you, Bob.
Tray. Go and kill it, Pops.
William Bodie says, new way for China to spy on us. And Poppy. Very true.
I know, Poppy knows it.
Comes with all spare blades as well, which is quite useful. If you, well,
Freedom
you've seen what it's
House's
like.
parrot makes that bleep perfect now.
So I've been waiting for a day where it's not been persisting down to take this actually out in the garden to get some practice with it. But actually indoors as well, it's kind of fine. I probably do need to change those batteries. Where's the rest of the plastics gone? Poppy.
How much was that, Mike?
I have no idea how much it was. Bob will have to
Bob
say.
said 25 quid.
25 quid? That's bloody great. You can't go wrong. That's a lot of fun for 25 quid.
Oh, Poppy, you're gonna... She's so jumpy.
I don't blame her. I'm not too bad when it comes to flying things which go on the road.
We did do a drone video with the camera in, and he did crash it into me.
I did.
Did it crash into me?
The last drone video I did was in when we were still at Casualty. And Kath nearly ended up in Casualty.
No, I didn't.
That's
I
good
think
fun.
it nearly crashed into me.
So it's 50 quid on Amazon with a 50% off voucher. I think that is a whole lot of fun for the money. And thank you very much, Bob. That is awesome. I can't wait to take it out in the garden. I might actually, depending if Kath has the ability. You haven't heard what I've got to say yet.
But it's horrible.
No, to see if you can actually film it. Well, if we take it at the park, if you can track it with the camera while I'm flying it.
But what would that be on the DJI?
I don't know. Probably on that. I don't know if the DJI.
Right,
The DJI might do
yeah.
it. See, that's why I said it. So Kath's.
DJI is like nice to carry, isn't it?
Yeah, but you can't really see what's going on very well, can you? We could try it. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. So that'd be good.
We could give it a go and then.
Stuart Cleary says I paid about 200 years ago for similar. Yeah, the technology has got much better. I bought one from, I think that was from Amazon.
Brian says he missed the case box unboxing.
Yeah.
No, you haven't got that
which
far
was
yet.
about 100 quid. I think it might have been more than 100 quid, and it didn't have the gyro. So it was like impossible to fly. Whereas that, because it's got a gyro built in, it's kind of, as long as the batteries are charged and it's working and it's not too windy, it's going to be a piece of cake. So yeah, I'm going to look forward to taking that out up the park. Hopefully when we get some sunshine, which we've been deprived of this month. And actually I should say as well,
last month really.
I'm very sad to say this is our last live stream of July. Because it's August next week, I think.
Although it feels like it's March.
It feels like it's bloody, yeah, November.
March or November, yeah.
Dave Vanderbilt says, I pay £40 a year for my license to fly my DJI drone. Yeah, the DJI drone is a little bit more of a thing. Ugly Bob says, Jesus Mike, I nearly filled my shorts then. No, this is the last stream of July. Weird. And it's like, it's 25 degrees in here at only 49% humidity, which is like, normally that's a cold day. 49 degrees humidity, 49% humidity. Normally when it's like warmer, it gets up to like 60, 70.
Is there a back
But
for
yeah,
a bit still?
it's
Stroke it down.
Pops. She's all right.
You're a bit frightened of the drone.
You right, Badger?
You went into fight mode, didn't you?
It's a bit exciting, isn't it?
She usually likes anything.
Not for the ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't, but for you, it's probably.
What's she found?
She found a battery. I don't think they can see her on there, can they? No. Let's see if you can get it on the. See if I can move it a little. See, this is what I have to contend with. Not only have I got an empty cup of tea, I've also got a badger playing with batteries. This is the best part of the stream, everybody. Make the most of it. It only gets worse from here on in.
Hold on, wait a minute. Let's put a big badger up.
No! Don't need any more badgers on the screen.
It's not a real badger.
There's the flame badger.
This is a tiger.
Flame tiger. Poppy. Oh God. Right. That's enough of that. Let's get this damn case out.
Come on, Flamey.
Let's get the camera lined up-ish. That'll do. I knew I shouldn't have touched the camera. That was a fatal error of judgment. Oh, is that broken again? No. I was just watching the... Poppy, batteries don't belong on magnetic collars. You silly arse. And don't get on the box, I've got to open that. Right, the moment that some of you have been all waiting for. Come on, Pops. Okay. Oh, sorry. Actually, has that got my address on anywhere? No, it hasn't. Right, going from one extreme to the other when it comes to packaging. Here it is, El Cardbordo. So this is the IONZ Pro Gamer KZZ, which bizarrely, it doesn't say that on the box anywhere that I could see. Maybe it does on the sides. I haven't had a really good look at the box, to be fair. Like I said, it's been one of those weeks. So this is IONZ, part of their dual dynamic range. There is a micro ATX version of this and a full-size version. This is the full-size ATX. This is going to retail for somewhere in the region of about 60 to 65 pounds. The micro ATX version, under 50. Just saying. So if you're after a micro ATX case and something quite nice and a little bit on the fish tank look inside, this might be something to look for. This say on the bottom there, so graphics cards, if you're wondering, up to 380mm. No idea what that bit means. It has USB, you'd hope so. It's got some pictures of fans and CPU height clearance of 163mm. So if you do want to use a traditional cooling fan, you can do. If you want to use water cooling, you can do also. More specs on here. So the model name is the Dual Dynamic Advanced. So I think there's two versions. There's the Dual Dynamic, which is the micro ATX, and the Dual Dynamic Advanced, which is the ATX version, which kind of makes sense. Unbelievable for the price. USB 3.0, one of those, and a Type-C connector on a 65 quid case. That's pretty cool. HD audios, etc. Tempered glass, front and side. ATX, micro ATX, mini ATX. Power supply, bottom and ATX. Maximum PSU length of 200mm. Radiator support, you've got 360mm support on the side. 360mm or 240 at the top, 360mm on the bottom as well. I don't believe this for a minute. I am going to check this. And you've got option for a rear 120mm fan. Got drive support there, so 4 SSDs or 2 3.5-inch drives or combinations thereof. GPU as we said, CPU as we said. I think that's pretty much it. 8 kilos maximum weight as it is. So yeah, 8 kilos is pretty light, to be fair. Especially because it's got 2 lots of tempered glass on it. And the dimensions for the actual structure, so you're looking at 410 long, 277mm wide, and 415mm high.
Lady Bob's like, get out of the fecking box.
I'm getting out of the fecking box, you miserable fecker.
Tell me about Fan Support Network.
The what?
Fan Support Network.
The fan support. Oh, what it supports in here?
I suppose, yeah.
I don't know.
You're the tech person. I'm just reading the questions.
In terms of fans, it's going to be 3 120s on the top, 3 120s on the side, 3 120s on the bottom, and 1 120 on the back.
I'm assuming it's what cables it is and
I-
what if it's got something.
There's
I'm assuming.
no fans included, and it's basically what I think personally what a case should be like. So you don't get the fans or some crappy controller installed. You have to take care of all that stuff yourself, so you can put in the fans you actually want. And I'm trying not to drop this. Doing a relatively good job. Sorry about the noise.
Or anything.
I can't hear that tea being made. Oh man, there's a stain on it. That's bloody Daisy. The little thing. Cleaning supplies. Oh man.
What?
Just dropped my HDMI cable into my drink.
You drank it when I gave it to you this morning.
That's alright, no, it's Mini D, that's fine. There's a little bit of a mark there, let's get rid of that. Oh, stuck. Right. The fun we do have. Okay. So, in a moment you can probably see the back, so we might as well start at the back then, aren't we? Actually, let's give you a quick spin round. So there you go, that is the front tempered glass. We've also got side tempered glass as well. So this is kind of very, very reminiscent of the Lian Li Dynamic 011 and that kind of type of case. I wonder about this glass, does it just pop off? No, we'll have to look a bit closer at that. Yeah, that's the front. Well, no, that's the side. That's the front. That is the back. So you've got your ventilation there for your fans out the back and also for your power supply area. Just there. Spinning around again. So the back side you can see 120mm fan mount. Removable PCI Express covers, which is always like, is not a given these days. You never know. Ventilation there for hard drives and all that kind of stuff. Power supply, etc. Get a general idea. The good thing to see is it's got a lot of clearance there. So it means when you put a radiator on the top, you're still going to have a lot of working room for your motherboard and stuff. So have a look on the bottom. To be honest with you, this is the first I've seen of this as well, really. On the bottom, so nylon mesh, excellent. That could have been a bit of a deal breaker, to be fair, if it wasn't a decent one on the bottom. But that is nice, little plastic tray there. Which, does that fit in there? Yeah, that's a little bit clunky going in there. But saying that, at least it's going to hold it in place, and it does clip in. You can hear it like latching in, which is quite nice. So yeah, that's going to... There's actually a bit of a gap as well between the mesh and the bottom of the case. And that is going to be helpful because if you have the mesh right up against the actual case and the mesh of the case, it really kills off the airflow. Having a bit of a gap between filters is always really good for airflow. So there we go. No options for 140mm fans in this at all. It is going to be 120mm throughout, but I say 3 of them on the bottom. They have said a 360mm rad in the bottom, but I would say that a lot of manufacturers do the same thing, and they assume that just because you can physically put 3 120mm fans in somewhere, that you can fit a 360mm rad, and that just isn't the case.
Is that right there?
Yeah, it's fine, thank you.
Is that on?
Looking at the top, so mesh filter as you'd expect, magnetic, and yeah, 3 120mm fans available there. The I/O section, so big old power button, USB type, USB 2.0 type A, USB 3. Actually, where's the USB? Oh no, sorry. That looks like a Type A. It's not. It's actually, that is the USB Type C there. And you got the Type A there. Combo headset mic jack, reset button on the back, and 2 LEDs for obviously power and hard drive activity. So yeah, it's it's a nice case for the money.
Kenny D says there's a version of this case with 3 including fans.
There probably is actually, because IONZ do a lot of that, don't they? Where they do various versions with either 3 fans, 6 fans, and various hubs. But in fairness to them, and I think they wouldn't mind me saying this, the fans that they generally tend to include with their cases tend to be dog shit. Sorry.
Who'd mind me saying that?
Sorry. Look, IONZ, guys, you know I got a lot of time for you and I do love these cases, but I got to be honest, some of the fans are absolutely dire. Molets, connectors and all that. What's the matter?
William Bode is saying it's out of sync, the sound, but it sounds right, looks right to me.
Does it?
I don't know why I told you
2.
I don't know why I told you to be quiet, because that defeated the object, to be honest.
Right, let's start stripping this down. So back panel, you've got these magnetic mesh. To be honest with you, these I would chuck, or just attach them to the back, or leave them like kind of just in the middle. In fact, actually, that's actually quite a good place to store them. Using there as a bit of extra sound deadening, because you want the mesh to breathe a little bit. I think the panel a little bit wobbly, and I think the mesh probably could have been a little bit more open.
Welly Bob asks.
But I think it's actually, they've done a pretty decent job. Considering what it is, the costs, etc. The fact you can obviously use the filters if you want to, or choose not to. I probably wouldn't. And looking inside the mesh there, where the fans go at the back, probably the first thing I would do for myself on this would be to go around with some tin snips and just remove that entire section. Just cut out the middle altogether, just to remove any of the obstructions there. But having said that, so it's looking pretty good so far. And again, you've got to come back to the price on this. 65 quid. It's pretty bloody good value. And I think the direct comparison would be with the Gamemax Infinity, which we looked at last week, which I think is a similar price point. A little bit more expensive, possibly. Right, let's get this panel off and see what's going on inside.
Welly Bob asks, Mike, what fans white would you populate this with? 7x120? I like this one a lot. It's not a damp squib.
It isn't a damp squib. No, it actually does look nice.
You didn't say that. I added that.
I
love that phrase.
It's a very, very tough decision. If I was going to put white fans in here, the automatic temptation is to go with the thermal take, the CT120s. I think they would look really nice in there. But they're really expensive. They're good, but they're really expensive. So it depends if you want RGB or not. If you don't want RGB, I'd be very tempted to possibly go with some Arctic P12s, because those are really good value for money. Other white fans, you could probably go. Thing is, do you want them to be low noise? If noise isn't an issue, the Thermalright C12L ARGB, those are really cheap, like 15 quid for a pack of 3. So you could get 3 packs of them, get 9 in there, put 3 in the bottom, 3 in the side, 3 in the top. You're basically off to the races for 45 quid. So throw in the price of the case as well, you're looking at about 110 quid.
No, you're not. Amazon 59 without fans, 69 with.
Yeah, but they're crap fans. Or they're likely to be crap fans.
What's 59 without fans?
Oh, yeah, so £59. Yeah, so Amazon is 60 quid. Add on the Thermalright fans you could get on Amazon as well. I'm sure they were like 15 quid roughly when we bought them last. To keep it cheap, I would do that. But again, if you want them to be super silent, the Arctic P12 ARGBs are really hard to beat, but they are quite expensive unless you can get a deal on. The Thermaltake CT120s, again, are great. I'll use them in this case up here, well, the 140s. They do move a lot of air and they look amazing, but they're quite expensive. So I potentially actually might be tempted to go with the up here, the T7, can't think what it is, T7H6 or something. What's that?
Stuart Cleary, wow, how do you remember those brand model numbers? Ask him about...
I don't know, yeah.
air filter for a Cortina.
Yeah. I used to be like this when I working in the car shop. I used to remember all the part numbers, like Astra battery 063, a mini battery 037 or 038, depending on which version it was. Mini Metro 063 as
We
well.
used to have great fun asking him, but we wouldn't know if he was right or wrong.
Yeah, I could just make it up.
But he didn't, that's the funny part.
Fiesta oil filter 0057. Don't know. Yeah, I can remember a lot of things. Unfortunately, nothing that Kath's told me in the last 10 to 15 minutes.
No.
I have a very good knack at doing that.
The last 15 years, I think.
So inside, yeah, loads of room to work with. I love the fact that it's got the pass-throughs, and they're not the sort of ones that want to rip out particularly easily. That's pretty handy. So if you have the radiator in there, it shouldn't impede too much. Always the thing to like get concerned about is actually if you put a radiator in here, how far out does it come? Can you still put a 120mm fan in this section? Because me personally, I like to put the radiator on the side. But if you've got a setup like this where you can put it in the top quite easily and you've got the extra height there, I think it makes a lot of sense to go with the 360mm rad on the top. So you're not going to have any issues with the fans impeding anything else. Put 3 120s down there, 3 there pushing in. Have the 3 here, maybe exhausting, I don't know. It depends, because obviously your CPU, if you're water cooling your CPU, the top radiator and the 3 fans that are connected are going to be controlled by the CPU temperature, which generally, even when you're gaming, is going to be cooler than your graphics card for the most part. So it doesn't need to be particularly fast spinning. You can keep those down pretty low. So having the top as exhaust with your radiator, having this side here as exhaust for your GPU, and then having 3 fans at the bottom pulling cold air in. So you can get cold air going in, rising up to your graphics card. These fans are going to try and suck out the majority of the hot air, which is going to build up in the case ambient wise. And obviously your CPU is going to be taken care of with the exhaust at the top. You will get, if you don't put a fan in the back here, that's going to be quite good, because that is going to be for equalizing the pressure in between. So if you get to a point where there's a little bit of negative pressure because you're exhausting too much, it's going to try and pull some colder air in there, which is going to be in line with your VRMs and your CPU cooler. So that potentially is going to be beneficial. Everyone's going to have their own opinion. Whenever I do these cases, or this sort of case with 9 fans or whatever, and I have the ones that exhaust on the side, they're like, well, why are you doing that? The airflow is going to be all wrong. And it's kind of, it doesn't make a great deal of difference. And in fact, I find more benefits of having, especially if you're using slightly cheaper fans, because cheaper fans don't generally tend to have much static pressure, but they can push air okay, but they struggle to pull air in. So if you're having these as exhaust, that as exhaust, the ones at the bottom are going to be intake, because you've got a slight negative pressure system going on in here, it's going to help the bottom fans to pull more cooled air in. And also because of how it's laid out, it's not going to be pulling in a ton of dust, because dust doesn't like to go down across and then up again. It goes down and it settles. We've had this conversation before, time and time again. I like this case. I actually really like this case. Anyway, moving back, so you can see what's going on up in the top section there. I think I would have liked the mesh to be a little bit more open. If I'm going to be in any way, shape or form going to be slightly negative towards it, I think I should be slightly negative, because it's not a cheap case.
Is this a new case?
Yeah.
Because Mookie says it's not available in the US, which I can't find it either.
No.
But so it will probably go, because they do tend to.
The IONZ cases do generally come out at some point across the pond. This is a relatively new one, although it has been around in. I'm trying to think where it was. There was another country. I looked at a couple of reviews and it's like, oh, it's been out for a little while. It's weird, because it's not long come into the UK. So yeah, depending where you are, it may differ. But yeah, overall, I like it.
Seems a lot of case for £59.
Yeah, for 60 quid, like, really, come on. I'm still trying to work out how this front glass panel comes out, if indeed it does. Which I got a feeling it doesn't.
Rad in the bottom?
I don't think a radiator is going to fit in the bottom. I'm going to try that now because I know that there's going to be people who want to probably do that, or maybe on the side. I'm a little bit concerned about the side panel, to be honest with you, and it's probably a good time as any to do this. Let's go with, what have I got which has got fans connected already? Oh, the Gamemax one. Sorry, IONZ. But it's here and it's at the top of the pile. Because it was supposed to be reviewed this week, but unfortunately, because of certain other issues, as discussed earlier, unable to do it. No, actually, I have done this one, haven't I? I did review this week.
You did?
Yes, I did. I hate to do this at the same time as doing something for IONZ, because I know IONZ and Gamemax are, well, the people that run PC gaming cases.co.uk or .com. Is it pcgamingcases.co.uk? I think it is. The people that run that also sell Gamemax products. So they sell IONZ, Corsair, all sorts of stuff. They are the kind of the main distributors in the UK. But they also do Gamemax stuff, so I don't think they'll mind me too much doing this. So this is the Gamemax Infinity 360mm AIO.
No fans in stock on Amazon up yet,
As you can probably see.
I think adding so many fans kills the value for air-only cooling.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. So this is pre-installed and what's it? So let's see, does this fit in the top? I'm guessing it should do easily. Something's not fitting. Ah, there it is. It's me being stupid, I think. Where is it? I've got a sneaking suspicion of this doesn't fit. Here's the screw holes. No, maybe I'm being stupid, but I don't think this fits. Which would be rather awks. Because I'm sure it shows a picture of it with a 360mm rad in on their website. Try it the other way. See if it's just me being dumb.
The side needs to be pushed back so graphics card can fit. I don't know if it's related to this. Computing says evening.
Hello, Yay Computing. Right, no, well, this is where it all kind of falls down. So this radiator is 137mm in length, and you basically can't put it in there. So let me show you, or at least see if I can show you. I don't think I'm going to be able to very easily. So in the case, see there's a metal seam that runs up here. The very top bit just fouls with it, so you can't actually...
Rivets in there.
Yeah, the rivets are in... Well, not the rivets are fine. They're not a problem. But there's a little metal lip there.
Can't you cut that out?
Yeah, you could cut it out.
And so it would fit if you cut it out?
Yeah, that's what I was going to get to. Let me get the... Investigative Journalism 101. Oh, you absolute donkey. Who's that? Who's sending money at the wrong time?
Who would you blame?
Bob, probably. he's the most likely one. Dave Aiken, Super Mub. Thank you, Dave. You swine, that's the wrong time.
No, that's up. What's up?
What's up? What's up, Mub? Right.
Hashtag blame Dave.
Hashtag blame Dave, as always. Right, so we've got this seam here, and because it runs all the way to the top, I'm not sure, is this actually in focus? I don't know. Maybe. So that little metal seam, where those two dots are there, if you made a small incision in the metal there, and then bent that metal back on itself, then it would fit. And actually, I'm going to do it. What the hell? Those guys over at IONZ, they don't have to put me through some bloody life lessons. So I'm just going to try and use these and see if we can do this. Let's do this live, because what could go wrong apart from me losing a frickin' finger? So I'm going to cut it there, I think. it shouldn't be very...
Bob's going to drink until his eyes are in focus.
Well done. I don't think that's going to cut through there. Oh yeah, let's go in. So if I can just bend that back, no, I'm going to lose a finger. That probably needs to be done.
Tuck it back, Bab.
Tuck it in. Let me see. I'm going to take the glass out. I think that's the safest bet. Because otherwise it's all going to go really wrong. I'm hoping the glass comes out pretty easy. I did need to work out how the glass comes out. Does that slide out now? No, it appears to be held in on the back as well. So let's take that out as well. Oh yeah. I like the fact they've put some silicone gaskets on there as well. Sorry about this, guys. Yeah, I'm not doing this for nothing. This is basically, because people are going to say to me, Mike, I bought this case. You said in the review that you can put a 360mm rad in the top, bottom, mirror there and everywhere, and I can't. What's the deal? So I have to do this to satisfy my own curiosity and also to prevent me from going through having to answer umpteen million questions. Okay, so you can see, hopefully, just there where I've made a bit of a
Boo-boo.
bit of a boo-boo. Made a little.
That's what I said earlier.
Made a little boo-boo.
Boo-boo, wasn't it?
So that bit there.
I haven't rung in sick for you for ages. We just texted sick now, don't you?
Yeah. Let's see if we can get this, or at least see if I can show you what is going on here. So put this in the back.
I think I'd still get my mum to phone in sick for me.
Right, actually, can I get any screws to match it that way? Right, if I put it in here, it doesn't... Who's doing that now? Stop it, Bob! Right, this way almost fits. Kath, I need you to do the camera when the lights come back on so they can see how it lines up.
The later lights didn't come on by themselves.
It's Bob's fault. You're giggling, you swine. Come on, light, turn off, I'm sweating here. Right, you might need the other light on as well. Oh, actually, I can do the overhead camera if I can. Oh, I can't. I need to switch the thing.
What have I got to do? What have I got to
Sorry, I got it. Does that say overhead? Yes. Okay, there you go. I'm not sure if you can see it. So, normally, you can just about see there, well, hopefully you can, the screw. So, no, you won't be able to, I don't think. So that is the screw hole there, which is, the back one is just about visible. That one, I would say you'd have to graunch it into place to get at. So, because of where that bit of metal is,
that looks all right to me.
it's blocking it.
Oh yeah, because of the screw head.
Yeah. So, because that bit of metal is stopping you moving a couple of millimeters, let me get a couple of screws in it and I'll try that. Sorry about the overhead view. We're learning, everybody. I'm learning that I should have done this probably about 6 hours ago before we started the stream, then messaged IONZ and said, what's the deal with this bloody thing? I can't get the thing in. You've done it to me again. They're going to get to the point where they're going to stop sending me stuff because they're, Mike, you're just too darn negative.
Get the grinder out.
Yeah, this is not... Actually, does that get in the way now? Yeah, this is, I'm kind of forcing this a bit. Let's see if I can get the 4 screws in at both ends, I think I'll be reasonably happy. But I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to. Sorry, Kath, can you move that camera back again? So, don't leave a radiator unsupported. It's not a good idea.
Next to your camera.
Yeah. So this has, the screws are going in, but it feels like it doesn't want to, really.
Install this camera.
Yeah. So you can see that last screw where it's just, it's visible just about, but this is a very, very tight fit. I'd have liked for the whole lot to be able to shift up so that was in the middle, because that's where those screws are really meant to be, somewhere towards the middle. And yeah, that is right. Actually, yeah, that gives me the perfect opportunity. Yeah, because that will go round there. Let's go back to the other camera now. Main camera. Yeah, I think we're good there. So now you can see the radiator's in there and there's no gap at all at the end. There's a very, very little gap at the front. That is about right for, well, you probably wouldn't be able to mount that very easily because you'd be doing that kind of thing with it. You won't have enough length on there to twist it round, so you're going to have to go slightly pipes down on it, which is a little bit unfortunate because these look a bit ugly. But that would kind of work. But what I'm trying to explain badly is now, if we look at this bit here, let me try and get some decent angles on that.
Bob says, I see what you did there, ion negative, very clever.
It wasn't intentional. Is that in focus? Yeah, it is. So see where I made that cut almost in the exact right position. So if that cut there was a proper cut and that metal was folded in, there's nothing stopping it here. That's absolutely fine. But that bit there, that little bit of metal really needs to be either ground or filed or something. I wonder if I could bend it. I don't really want to bend it because I'll probably end up stabbing myself with the screwdriver. I don't think it's thin enough. No, that does need cutting. Realistically, I would say the first thing to do if you are going to do the mounting the radiator in the top is to make a little incision there. Cut through that bit there where that line is and bend that bit of metal round. It physically fits, so they're not pulling a fast one. It physically fits, and as you can see, it's in there. Nothing's been impeded. This is a relatively small radiator, yeah.
See, I listened.
Thank you. This one's 197 millimeters. The one from Alzeye was 196. Let's have a look at the most popular one on the market by a country mile is the Freezer 2 360, and I'm sure this one is, I got a feeling it's 402. Where's the dimensions?
196 and stuff. That one's like double.
196. Oh, radiator. Sorry, no, tell a lie. Dimensions. I'll have to put on here so you can actually see it. So that is a little bit larger. So 198. I don't know if that's actually focused at all. So yeah, 198. So that is another millimeter. So if you wanted to put this one in, you realistically going to have to do that. You're going to have to make an incision in the metal. Otherwise, you will be just forcing it in, which is obviously not great. You don't really want to do that.
Is a case like this better for water cooling versus air?
It's difficult to say, to be honest with you, without trying it out. Personally, I would probably think that the whole kind of look of this, and especially the height that it has. So if you take into consideration where your motherboard is going to be, the motherboard is going to be basically along the line of the fans there. So it has that kind of look to it where if you don't have a radiator and fans on the top, it looks a little bit lost, a little bit empty. But yeah, I don't know, each to their own. The previous one I had, which was the VXR from Techware, that was an unfortunate one because it was a little bit narrower, So if you wanted to do air cooling, you couldn't unless you only had a very, very shallow CPU cooler, which a lot of people don't really want that. Most people want quite a chunky air cooler because it looks very cool. And obviously looking cool and actually being able to cool are very key things.
LT720 is 402 mil.
Yeah.
You do in inches.
Millimeters. Yeah, so the LT720 402, you haven't got a hope in hell of fitting that in there. I don't think, really.
So that one's like a middle room.
This is 100 and... I'm going to measure it. Because the measurements always lie anyway. They always make it up. So this is 190. I'm going to need my magnifying glass. where did I leave my magnifying glass, Cav? What did I not be able to see last?
The writing on the back of that.
No,
Last night.
it was thing laptop earlier.
Oh, Brian's.
You're not supposed to say that. You're a dumbass, aren't you? Where did I put that thing?
Just zoom in with your phone.
I might have to. I've lost my magnifying glass. It's the end of the world. I can't have gone far. I've not left the bloody room hardly.
Have you got it on top of your head? Like people
Yeah,
with their glasses.
I got it on my head. Where did I put that?
Bedside table drawer.
Oh yeah, so I can see the old man. Torching. Right, that's not really helped. Is that right to the very end? Yes. See, I would say that's 135, maybe 136. What does it say on the box? Just to give them the benefit of the doubt. They are saying... They're saying 197. Let's try the other end, see if it's badly made. No, that is... I would say that's 395, maybe 396 at a push. So this is actually quite a compact rad. But this is why we test these things, because otherwise people get upset, and people are going to get upset now because we're going pipes up. So that fits in there, absolute piece of... No, that doesn't fit in there. Oh, I can't see now, the light's on my face. Where's my thing? Oh, where's my torch gone now?
You had that at the same time as when it went Brian there.
It wasn't... Not Brian. Right, sorry about this. I'm going to have to... I can't see if the screw holes are matching up at all. That one does, that one doesn't. So one at the top, one's fine, we can live with one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Right, if you wanted to put a radiator in the side, you can do, you just won't be able to use every single one of the screw mountings. Again, maybe some people would prefer that look, with it being on the side. It's never ideal really to have the pipes at the top, and if you have the pipes at the bottom, which would really be the preferable way of doing it, you're then possibly going to struggle to actually get the cooler actually on to the motherboard if you've got a graphics card which is of a reasonable size. Although if you had the Arctic Freezer one in here, that's got super long pipes on it, so you probably could get away with that. Oh, and actually while we're there, let's have some fun, because they do say you can put a 360mm rad in the bottom. I'm not putting one on my bottom, that's for sure. And it's kind of, yes, it kind of fits. You might not get all the screws in, but potentially that might be a thing. Again, pipes are going to be...
Totally Bob, you'd get when it's sideways.
The pipes aren't going to like that at all, but yeah, if you're going for like a custom water cooling, you might get away with that. I would probably never in a million years recommend doing that, but yeah, they fair play to them, it does fit. I didn't think it was going to. Yeah, I need to say that again.
So this case is not really meant for AIO?
No, it's not. It is. It's fine. It's just that that top part, for mounting there in the top, I personally would say that piece of metal needs just trimming out. And it's a stupid thing because the metal actually doesn't connect to anything on the top. It's just part of the strengthening bar. If they'd have bent... Actually, where's the pliers? Let's get the pliers out.
Captain White's in.
Hello, Captain White. Buenos dias. Whatever that means. I want to cut that out there. I've got some tin snips somewhere, dude.
Very good for the money, but the quality is not really there.
I don't know. No, the quality is fine. There's no issues with the quality. It's just that that bit of metal, for me personally, is just a little bit in the wrong place. And I find this with a lot of cases. There's always bits of metal that I cut out just to suit my own
I think it was
thing.
David Underhill said even his Leanne Lee had to be a bit modded to fit everything in.
Yeah, so I've just bent that round a very tiny bit. Let's do it with that.
Or your tin snips or pliers.
There we go. Right, that should now fit very easily. Or at least easier than it did. Yeah, I nearly said piece of piss and piece of cake, and I said piece of kiss. So, yeah, that is now, yeah, and there's actually some wiggle room there. Literally, just bending a little bit of metal just slightly out of the way makes an absolute huge difference in the ease of mounting. And with that then, even right at the back, there's about 5 mil difference, maybe 6. So you could get up to, what, 401, 402 mil rads in there. That's all it needed. Tiny little bit of metal bent out of the way. Makes no difference whatsoever to the look of the front, because that is actually covered up under here, under the glass. So let's put that back on there. Yeah. So the bit that we've moved is basically in there, which you can't see anyway. Happy days. I'm glad I did that. I am actually glad I did that. It caused me to perspire, but
Should sweat every day.
ultimately, that is what we're supposed to be doing here, is finding out what works and what doesn't, and separating the wheat from the chaff. I still actually really like this case, and it's quite nice the fact that it is a little bit on the cheaper side, because like spending 60 quid on a case like this as a bare chassis, if then you decide, well, actually I want to cut a bit of metal there, or I want to cut out this side section to get a bit more airflow through, or maybe you just want to paint the whole thing a different colour, which you could do because it's a really blank canvas for that. It's actually, like, when you're messing around with it, it's 60 quid. It's not a lot for a case these days, especially one with 2 lots of tempered glass, the ability to fit in, what, 10 fans, and put in like loads of big stuff in here. You could, in theory, put 3 radiators in here. I don't know where you'd put your reservoir, but potentially you could do. Thank you, Stuart Cleary, for the €10. Great info, Mike. Thank you. No, thank you. That is why we do these things, because we want to know. We want the facts.
Can you scroll back up to gaming since 1981?
Is it case related?
I always thought to make the pump last longer, you fit the top of the radiator above the pump that clamps on the CPU.
Yes. Ideally, you want your pump to be not the highest part of the loop. It's not as important as people maintain. The realistically, yes, if you get an airlock into your system or you get your pump running dry, it's going to be a pain in the backside. If your pump is just a little bit gurgly at startup because the air settles, then yeah, it's minorly annoying. Most pumps these days are pretty resilient, so even if you do run them dry for a very small amount of time, they're going to be fine. But yeah, if you can make sure that the radiator in its entirety is above the pump, that's great. But yeah, when I had the VXR case, which was there before, I used to always have a radiator mounted in this side bit, always pipes at the top and with the pump there, and yeah, no problems at all. The odd gurgle every now and then where air must have been in the system, but it wasn't annoying, and it didn't appear to have reduced the lifespan of any of the components, because all of the AIOs that I've actually put in the VXR, I've sold on to other people and I've not heard a thing back. So I don't think it's not as big of an issue as some of the kind of YouTube hierarchy would say. I know Steve Gamers Nexus is a little bit kind of anal about it, possibly Jay's 2 cents a little bit as well, but it isn't. You basically work with what you got. If you can do it, great. If you can't, you work with it.
Captain Mike says, can I just confirm Homeworld Remastered is currently free on Epic Games and everyone should get it immediately?
I did notice that, actually. Thank you for that.
Say it.
Who was that? Captain White?
Yeah.
Captain White saying that, where is it? Homeworld Remastered is currently free on Epic Games and everyone should get it immediately. I think I already got it on Friday when it appeared on my desktop. It's one of the few things I clicked on and was like, oh, cool.
Welly Bob says for £60 it's a budget victory case, I say.
I think you're right. I think you're right, definitely. When it comes to I/O, so what have we got here? We have got hard drive LED, reset switch, power LED, and also power switch.
What's that game about?
Hang on, did I say power switch twice then? No, reset switch, power switch. Homeworld, I'm not entirely sure. I think it's like a space adventure. This is the real deal here. So having a USB-C type connector on a 60 quid case is very unheard of. That's quite a rarity. And there's a lot more things coming out on USB type C now, and it's also really good for obviously transferring files if you've got a card reader or if you've got external USB drive for backups, that sort of stuff. USB type C is awesome. And also, if you're charging your phone or something, USB type C to type C takes the guesswork out. If you're plugging it in on the top, you don't have to kind of, which way around does it go? Just boosh, put it in, job done. Single USB 3.0, and obviously you've got your HD audio. All the cables nicely blacked out as well. No ketchup and mustard or anything like that there, which is awesome. Makes the case, I suppose if I had a complaint about the wiring, it would have been great if these were white to kind of hide them in the build a little bit, because it's a really white as well. It's almost into the kind of the blue spectrum. And in fact, I will, for those of you that are interested, and you're probably not, but I'm going to do it anyway because I want to do it, so I'm going to do it. I'm just going to, oh, what am I kicking out of the way now? Oh shit. Where have I lost that now? Ah! Don't want to lose that. Viagra.
Viali 100.
Viali 100.
If they do black case, these fans are really good. Dark Flash DR12 Pro, 120mm RGB. I have 7 in my 011 Evo. Costs £46.
There we go.
Black, don't they?
I think they do actually.
Or do they? I'm getting confused now as I've done so many links.
Data color. Bluetooth is on. Right, okay. So let's calibrate my reader. Color reader is ready. Stick that on there. Bosch on the button. And the color code is, I don't know if they got a RAL color. don't think they have. Valspar. If you're looking for a Valspar, it is called Cool Morning. Is the actual colour. And although if you want a slightly darker shade, which it might look like on here, let's have another go. Yeah.
Tell Sky he is there.
He is there.
No, just say Sky, you are there.
Sky, you're there.
Because he's like, am I here?
Yeah.
He's getting a bad signal. He's driving through Rockies.
Yeah, Valspar Cool Morning. So
Jason
if you
Woods.
wanted to touch it up or anything, then you can do. Though that looks like grey to me. It definitely's got a hint of blue in it, I think. Jason Woods, can I send you that gaming PC to review in 2 weeks, please? Jason Woods. Yeah, that was. Oh, Jason, what was your company? I forget now. That's. I keep on seeing the name Jason Woods. Thinking, I don't put 2 and 2 together. But yeah, that was it Apex Gaming or APEC Gaming PCs? You have to tell me. I'll keep an eye on the chat there. I think it was Apex. Apex Computers.
Some pumps are in the radiator now.
Yes, that is true. Yeah, MSI do. They have their pumps actually integrating the radiator, which makes the whole thing a little bit more complicated. Jason Woods, Love Bug Computers. Oh, right, okay. There was some. Who else was it who was in with the computer store? Yeah, Jason, send me over an email or grab me on the Discord and we'll work something out there. Right, where else are we? So there is a hard drive bay thing here. So if you want to put your hard drives in there, you can put in 2 3.5-inch drives attached to there. You could use 2.5s in there, I suppose, if you wanted to. And plenty of space in there to hide drives in. It did say there's 4, but how would you put 4 on there? Oh, yeah, SSD, sorry, yeah, screws there. 1, 2, 3.
Hey,
so potential of 4 drives in there. Although, again, realistically, like I've said before, many times that the kind of the hard drive and SSD is kind of coming towards the end of its reign. I think a lot of us now are heading towards NVMe storage. It's just so much more convenient and so easy to wire. Skystalker coming in with a super chat for $6.99 Canadian dollars. Thank you very much. Saying love the Saturday Mub stream. Thanks, Kath and Mike. Thank you, Sky. Thank you for being with us. And good evening to Tina as well, if she's sat in the background there.
They're driving through the Rockies. She ain't going to be in the background.
Well, he may be going to pick her up from the Rockies, or are they both in the car? Did they say?
Going away for the weekend.
Going away. Okay. Mine the SSD. Mine the removable drive caddy. So if you don't want it in there, that gives you a lot more room for cable management and messing around with stuff. When I did the VXR, which also has this sort of, this is very common on this design of case to have one of these removable things. I found it really handy to Velcro a RGB controller on the back. Some of them, they have like a cover here as well, so you can mount more drives. They haven't done it in this one. But again, you got option here. Power supply is going to be there. You could always put a RGB controller, just attach it to the top of your power supply as well, depending obviously what you want to do. But yeah, in terms of cable management, you've got all the pass-throughs, grommets. There's plenty of punch-outs as well for putting wires through. So yeah, in terms of cases which pretend to be something that they actually aren't, I think they've done a pretty decent job here. And actually you can move that as well, so that can go either there or there, depending on the size of your power supply. And actually, power supply should miss that anyway, unless you've got a particularly chunky power supply. I think I would probably put this actually in this location. Did that go in there?
Hey, George.
Hey, George Churchill. What? Dear. Right, let's get these screws in. And
Bob said hey. Ugly Bob said hey to you.
Hi, Bob.
Lucky Man's in the chat as well. Hello, how you doing? And Twig Hiker's in the chat. I haven't said hello to everybody in the chat yet, but take it for granted that for the majority of you, I'm aware you're there and I'm thankful.
He's
Yeah.
already said about your bloody magnifying glass being in your bedside drawer.
Ah, it was him. I thought it would be Bob. Bob's normally the one who does the insulting.
It's Ugly Bob, George. Show some respect to your elders.
Sir Bob of Ugliness.
Come and
Right.
say it clearer.
So, in terms of like 60 quid for this, I think is insane value for money.
Keep it in the original place, then you can lose the black cables down behind it.
Yeah. Like for cable management down there, that channel is really good. But I would be tempted, if you just put normal fans down there, they're not really gonna, like if you bunch that together, or even if you pull that to one side, it's got a lot of flexibility, it's got a lot going for it. I'm somewhat of a sucker for this design anyway. I do like this kind of fish tank-esque look. I think it works very well.
Can't you just...
And it looks, I think it looks more expensive than it is. And I don't want to put that back in yet, do I? Because I've got to put the glass back in.
So you can't see them. But you could get chalk markers.
Yeah.
That's a bit like a Sharpie.
I think, to be honest with you, I would probably...
They're pretty permanent.
If I was going to be really kind of anal about it, I'd probably get some shrink wrap and just...
You would use white electrical tape and wind it round.
Yeah, I probably would actually.
Get me to do it.
Calf. Come on, I've had a hard day. Just don't insult me too much. Let's get these things put back together before I lose the will to live. There's only so much sugar I consume to keep myself going. I've been a bit naughty today. I had a club bar. I haven't had a club bar.
Club bar.
Oh, I had 4.
Did you?
There's a pack of 7.
You only gave me 3.
What would you always do? Give you half of a club bar? Don't be so pathetic. You can't have half a club bar. That's just against the rules.
When you could have an extra one.
Lubba, lubba, lubba,
What
lubba.
flavour? Salted caramel.
Salted caramel flavour
They were
clubs.
quite a letdown,
Reduced to a
honest.
pound in the co-op. I was quite impressed. They went down very quickly.
White wire loom might work.
I don't. To be honest with you, I don't think it's going to be a big problem, is it? But yeah, I like this. I really do. The thing that it comes down to for me, if you can tell if I like a case or not, is would I buy it myself?
Oh.
And I think for this, for 60 notes, it would be, I'd be hard pressed to find a reason not to buy this.
Ugly Bob says you should have saved that extra one for that nice lady from the Royal Mail. She could have joined our club.
Yeah, but she probably think, oh, there's that baldy bastard trying to drug me up again. Again.
She doesn't look like she eats chocolate, to be fair.
Nah. She probably does eat loads of chocolate, but because she's walking around all day and not off her
But she's
what's
the
its on
man,
coat.
isn't she? She's the classy one.
It comes with instructions as well. So you don't have to watch 2-hour-long streams. It shows you
But
fans and
Jan's
things.
chat don't work, but
That's Jan's having problems tonight.
it does.
Ooh, there's spares. So for
Question, buy this case even after this review?
yeah,
Flame Churchill out of the bin.
yeah, like I don't think there's anything like what can you say really negative about this case, other than the fact that potentially you might need to bend a little bit of metal to make your radiator fit.
It's got no cats in it.
I think it's a very, very cool case. For £60, there isn't really anything else on the market. Even with the sides off, it's actually still pretty rigid as well. Sorry, Bob. I'm going to set him off now.
Yeah, Captain White. The raisin clubs are always my favourite. They were the only ones I ever had as a child. Stop doing the bin. You can't have a club biscuit wrapper.
I think these thumb screws are a bit bit pony.
Because your fingers.
They're a little bit small.
Not your fingers.
Fingers are fine.
There's Poppy Dora.
Yeah, I think this is
Baby.
this is pretty good. And the fact that you can mount a 120mm fan at the back as well if you want to is pretty darn cool. I'm trying to think, what is there? The mesh pattern, personally, I would have preferred to see something more hexagonal, but it's actually better in quite a few cases where they do just circles, where it's kind of mostly blocked anyway. I think that is going to be probably the best kind of airflow you can get. I would be tempted personally, like I said, to maybe chop that out, but then if you're just going to put fans there, it's kind of not really worth it. You wouldn't want to do it on the top section. So yeah, other than that tiny little bit of metal potentially getting in the way for your radiators, there is nothing really to dislike about this case. Side fits on well. Do you know what? Something I noticed recently, actually, when I've been doing stuff with the Series 500 there, quite a few times I've got to the point where I've opened this up. Oh, I can't do that, the microphone's on there. Moved it out, and then trying to get to the back of it to unscrew PCI Express cards. So there's the blanking plate, so you've got the two screws, thumb screws you've got to undo to remove the blanking plate, then another screws to actually remove the graphics card. And it's all kind of hidden around there. That is something which I like about this, because you just undo the 4 screws, take off the glass, you've got direct access to all those screws for taking out PCI Express cards. And if you do it on a regular basis, like I am seeming to do these days, it's actually easier to do it with a side panel which comes off in its entirety, because you can just take it off and put it somewhere and it's out of the way. Like obviously you can do that, but then you've still got to go around, undo 2 screws, remove that flap, then you've got access to those. Whereas that, it's directly there. I'm almost tempted to have this as my daily driver. Well, for there.
Where?
For there. I am tempted. Because I did like the VXR. I did like the shape. I think it was it's very flexible as well. I need a case that I can put a 360mm rad in for testing. Also, it looks kind of nice and can put a load of fans and stuff. And also, if I want to put a big graphics card in here, like graphics card wise, what they say about 380mm, which that's 390 to the end. If you take in a little bit there, taking into account the kind of PCI Express. So I would say probably a graphics card up to about 350mm. It's about 14 inches long. Most graphics cards don't normally get more than about, I don't know, 12 inches long. Maybe 11, some 10. Most cards these days don't actually overhang the motherboard, which is about 9 inches, I think. So yeah, lots of room to work with. Whether or not the white version is going to be your thing, some people might prefer the black version, which I'm sure there is one. I haven't seen it, to be fair. And it didn't say on the box actually whether or not there was, but I would have thought there is a black version. I don't know. So, any more questions about this in terms of dimensions or what can fit inside and all that kind of stuff? And we'll have a quick look through, see what the deal is before I put it away. Yes. I think so. What are they calling that? CRZ? KZZ? KZZ?
I'm not calling it anything on that one, but the white one's called dual chamber.
What's that? $59.99.
Yeah.
They got the Micro ATX one on there as well, the small one, 40 something odd pounds.
Oh, that might be that one. ATX, is it?
ATX is
That's
the
black, no fans.
How much is that?
$46.95.
No, that's the small version because it's only got 4 blanking plates at the back of the case. That's the Micro ATX. So the Micro ATX one is about £46. So if you want a Micro ATX version, which actually might be quite cute, if they're 46 quid, like, come on, really?
Yeah, so I don't think they got the black one then, have they?
Right. Anyway, links in the video description, so if you want to check it out.
But only UK ones.
Nick Barnes, question, Mike, how much gap should you leave between the side panel and furniture to be effective air draw? I have limited space since you use the F15 front draw. Yeah, that's quite a tough question. So if you've got the side fans as exhaust, yeah, hi. If you've got the side fans as exhaust, you probably want a couple of inches on the side of it just to allow air to escape, so that it's not really impeded very much. If it was
up there, it wouldn't have it.
Yeah, but it's kind of it's when it's behind there. The front part is almost touching the wall. It's about that much out, and it's on an angle, so it kind of at its widest part is about that, and the narrowest part about that. So it's about anything from 1 inch to 4 inches, I guess.
But it is only a brick wall behind.
Yeah.
Not a brick, but
it's got room to breathe, so it doesn't need a huge amount of room.
it's not like fabric.
It's more, I guess, really, it's more important to be getting cool air coming in rather than being able to exhaust out. But as with all things, you kind of got to do what you can do.
What size PSU can the case handle?
Up to 200mm is their official word. Realistically, I would say probably like a 170. These days, it's hard to get a power supply much bigger than 170mm. 160, 170. Some of the more compact ones these days are like 140, 150. Especially the ones that you're using like a 120mm fan on a compact enclosure. They're like 120mm fan plus about another inch. So like 140, 150. But yeah, it will take up to 200mm. This is great because it's got so much room at the back that the only thing which really potentially might impede it is if you went for some more SSDs at the bottom. But in terms of the power supply length, you've basically got the entire back of the motherboard, minus a little bit for like if you're using like modular connectors or something.
Stevie asks, are there any USB ports on the case?
I reckon you get a 220mm power supply in there, roughly. It's squeeze. USB ports, yes, there's two USB ports on the top. One's a Type C, USB 3.2 Gen whatever, and there's a USB 3.0 Type A. So 2 ports, one Type C, one Type A. Viali 100, 3 side fans in, 3 bottom fans in, 1 rear fan out, and 360mm on top. Yeah, side fans in. That would give you some decent positive pressure. Just have to make sure you get some fans which look nice from the back, because not all fans do. Stuart Cleary, Ugly Bob, you're a funny guy. I kill you last. Commando, great film. Yeah, I think that is pretty much it. I don't think there's anything else. I like the power supply. I like the filter on the bottom. It's going to be a pain in the backside to get in and out, I think, just because it's plastic, and plastic deforms a little bit as well. But it's no, didn't need to rock it over or anything. And actually, when it's in, it still kind of looks nice. It carries the lines through. Let's try that again. And the case isn't on a flat surface, so it's a bit raised on the side, so it is slightly distorted, but I'm very pleased with that. Especially again, like if I have it there, it's really hard to rock it backwards because it's against the wall. So being able to just pull that panel out is excellent. So that is something which it does better than the VXR, because the VXR one, you had to, I basically didn't bother. I took it out because it was just so annoying. Yeah, happy days. My only concern, which I can't tell because this is obviously the first I've looked at it, is going to be how long does it take before it starts yellowing? That is a bit of a problem with any white components these days, that they all start to yellow. I like, actually, you've got quite a lot of room on top, so if you wanted to put something on the top section, like a display piece or like your favourite bobble art, I'm just doing the overhead. So you see there's a There's a decent amount of room there to put your bobbleheads. Maybe put your phone up there on charge, and it still doesn't impede with the cooling on the top. Yes, I think this is. I would definitely say I would chalk this up as a win for IONZ. Let's put this thing away. Sorry about this, microphone wearers. No, headphone users. This case is going to be, a weird case actually in terms of sales volume, because it will sell a lot, but it won't sell that many. And the reason behind that, sorry. I'm not going to talk. Have told me not to.
That's brilliant.
Right, do you want to... Actually, if I put some tape on there, do you want to give Daisy her bed back? Actually, I'll let you do the tape.
Oh. I'm not very good when no one's holding it together for me.
That's not going to stick, that's all. There we go. Daisy, you can have your house back now. Excellent stuff. So yeah, as I was saying, I don't think it's going to sell in like ridiculously high numbers. And the reason behind that is because I think the base model, like without fans, is going to be for kind of like people like you and me. So you've already got like a couple of fans maybe, or you've got your favorite brand of fans that maybe you've got a whole bunch of Corsair fans or Lian Li fans or whatever it is, and you like using them. So people like us will probably end up going with the non-fans version, whereas OEMs are looking at it thinking, 60 quid or 70 quid with the fans in, looks kind of nice, stick some cheapo motherboard in there, make a nice looking system out of that. So I think for system integrators and people who are flipping PCs, they'll probably buy it with the fans. I would be very interested actually to see what the fans are and whether or not they're kind of like just Molex cheapies or whatever, or whether there's a controller for the RGB, maybe they're fixed RGB. Because IONZ have a really bad thing of doing that, of adding fans which are fixed RGB, or yeah, just like, ugh, no, why? Well, I can understand why they do it, because people see the pictures and the images and the like the what they call the computer generated CAD drawings or renderings. That's the one I'm looking for. People see the renderings of the case with the fans in there and they see RGB, and because it's a picture, that you can't obviously show the fans changing colour in a rendering. So when people buy it, they're thinking, oh yeah, that's going to look great, and they're visualising the lights changing and changing all the colours and that, and then they get it and it's just this strange fixed RGB nonsense going on. Now I'm not saying this particular case has that, but they have been known to use that type of thing before, so it wouldn't be a stretch to assume they were going to do that. Oh, and this, by the way, the Gamemax AIO, this at the moment is 77 quid, I think, or 75 quid. It's an absolute dream. Very easy to install. The fans are new and improved, and it beats the Noctua the NHD 15. It beats that in a stress test by about 6 to 7 degrees. So it's a pretty decent cooler. That's the Iceberg 360. Iceberg, not the Iceberg. There's two versions. The old one is the BERG. The new one is the URG. So when you're searching for it, if you search Gamemax Iceberg, it'll come up with possibly the old one. But the new one is much better. Actually surprisingly easy to install. Although the instructions are a little bit wrong. Which I did point out in the review video, which will be coming out very shortly. And yeah, you can see what it was like. It's actually pretty decent. So, right, let's have a look at your questions. Michael T says, I prefer to use my own fans. Don't blame you. Often that is the best way. For flippers and budget SI, fans are the best option. Yeah, definitely. Reading through there. Lucky, I know, Corsair, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, just having a read through here. Looks like you're talking to each other. That's a good sign. So Vial is saying, yeah, the Dark Flash DR12 Pros, 120mm ARGB. These have RGB both sides. I'll make a note of those. Dark Flash DR12 Pros.
Jason Wood.
Calf will.
Love your mouse mat. Where can I get one? Did you do that?
The mouse mat is from... I don't know actually where it's from. It's a gift from William Bodie. So I'm guessing somewhere in Germany. Possibly Aldi or Lidl, maybe? I don't know. I'm not too sure. You have to ask William Bodie where it came from. It is a genuine... What's it called? Genuine Star Wars merchandise. I remember I did see that on the packaging, I think. If I remember rightly. Wherever it said it. I don't know. Yeah, it did definitely say it somewhere. Super chat from Stuart Cleary. Thanks Mike and Kath for tonight. Absolute winners. Thank you very much. Bless your heart. Kath's already said thanks and she's already stood up and turned the lights off. She's just on fire.
I can use my phone across the room now.
Yeah. Is it working all right?
It seems to be.
Now look at that, ladies and gentlemen.
Even if I twisted around my chair, it would knock me off the internet.
The internet in this room
For months.
has been shocking for a very, very long time. I don't know what it is. There's something about this room, whether it's the lights, whether it's all the electrical gadgets and gizmos and all that, or because it is like the centre of the house pretty much. It's Ugly Bob's put it on there. Cool.
What did I have to write in Luke?
William Bodie says it was from GameStop, but someone did show it here at Amazon. Thank you. And thank you. I'm getting quite a lot of use out of it now.
What fans did I have to put down?
Dark Flash DR12. I think. Kenny D says that IONZ case definitely seems to be worth the money, and then you can add your own fans. Definitely. Yeah, and that's something actually that I think we need to see more of on the market. It used to be kind of like there was a few different brands which were all doing quite inexpensive, decent ARGB fans, but it's not quite as good as it used to be. Certainly the go-to brand, like, actually, let me have a look. It used to be the Arctic P12 ARGBs were like the bomb. So let's have a look. Let's see how much they are now. P12 ARGB. So a 3-pack on Amazon. Actually 32 quid for a 3-pack, which is lower than it was. Thanks, Jason. Yeah, drop me an email or whatever about the PC for review. We'll sort something out. Brick H says metal pipes. There probably is metal pipes, but actually no, it's not, because I remember when we bought the house and we renovated it, we replaced the metal pipes with plastic, didn't we?
For the heating.
Yeah. Yeah. So all of our pipes are plastic. Yeah, the Arctic P12 PWM PST ARGB 3-pack is currently £32.98 on Amazon, which for just over £10 a fan is kind of okay. They do perform very well and they are very, very quiet. So it is an investment. But if you want 9 of them, that is £99, give or take a few pence. So £100 for fans is a little bit much. But then that is the point. If you've got a PC where you want 9 fans in there, then you kind of really have to kind of pay the privilege. If you've got an RGB or addressable RGB rad, that's going to take 3 of the fans out of the equation. So if you don't want them all matching, which you may not want anyway, then £60 for 6 of them. I don't know. Let's have a look up here. Up here, Iskaf.
Super dicks.
Super dicks.
3 centimetres, mind.
Super dicks, 3 centimetre. Yo calf.
No, a bit. Can I ask a question?
Yes, you can ask a question.
About a Techwear case.
You can ask a question about a Techwear case? Of course you can. I might even remember it. Yeah, Super Dicks, go for it. Ooh. Right. On going back to those fans, these aren't brilliant, but they'll get the job done and you can control the speed on the remote control. 6 up here fans. They're the up here NT1206-6. Comes with its own hub as well. And RGB sync. And you get 6 of those for £32.99 in white. Ideally, I would probably suggest going with ones which have got PWM control. But, you know, beggars can't always be choosers, can they? It's quite funny, actually. If you search for up here fans, it's Mike's Unboxing, Mike's Unboxing, Mike's Unboxing. I wonder if it does that. Do me a favour. Open up Google on your computers and search for up here fans and scroll down, and does it come up with Mike's Unboxing? Actually, no. If I do just up here fans, I don't come up. Let's do up here fans RGB. Do I come up there? This is very no, they come up with only Arctic up here fans ARGB. So I need to work on the search engine optimization, I think, there. Yeah, if you want the best ones to get, the NK1206 or NK1207. Right, Super Dicks 3 cell. So about the Techwear Forge M2. Oh god. Do you need an RGB hub, or are the pre-installed RGB fans daisy chained? Right.
It's not
let me see.
Numbers. You can't remember.
No, the fans which are in the Techwear M.2 they're daisy chained, and from what I can remember, they're powered either by SATA or Molex. So the only way you can actually do anything with them, I think, is by pressing the RGB button on the case. So I would argue you're probably better off getting rid of them. Just take the whole lot out of the system and replace them if you can. Depends what it is you want to do. Thanks, Nick.
And Trolley.
And Trolley Jr. I think they're daisy chained to the reset switch for ARGB. Yep, that is exactly right.
No, above. Still think those thermal right. Have you done those? Yeah,
still think those thermal right fans are the best deal of the century. 3-pin ARGB, PWM 3 for 13, 6 would be £26. Yeah, the thing is with the thermal right fans, they're good until you start ramping them up. As soon as you get over about, I don't know, 900 to 1000 RPM, they get really noisy, which they're cheap fans, so you can't really expect much from them. But yeah, in terms of value for money, I've put them in a system, and the reason I put them in a system is because I couldn't put them in my own case because they were just too noisy. So it depends what you want to do about them, but they had signs that they were cheap. They look good. In terms of value for money, yeah, amazing. You cannot go wrong. But for me, they were just a little bit too noisy. I wonder if they've changed the design of them. Let's have a look. Well, they Thermalright, weren't they? Is it Thermalright? Yeah, Thermalright. Thermalright. Yeah, Thermalright TLC12C-S times 3. Currently available for $13.39. And if you buy 4 packs, you get 5% off. And the white version is currently unavailable. Well, that sucks. The black version's available. And the plain black versions are available, non-RGB. They're £10 for 3. They are incredible value for money, actually. What's that? 2 options from... Oh, see all buying options. Oh no, they are available. From... On your first UK... Oh, free delivery. Sorry, it's because I'm not signed in. Confusing me. So yeah, £13.29, brand spanking new from good old Amazon in white. That's actually not a bad idea. The thing is, if you've got enough fans, if you've got like 9 of them, you can reduce the RPM of them significantly to kind of get away from that. I'm pretty sure when I did the review, it's a little bit foggy, to be honest with you, but I'm reasonably sure that even on low RPM, they had a bit of a tick to them, like a ticking noise. I think that was why I was a little bit against them. I could be wrong. I think that was the case. But then they're pretty much all like that these days. There's a cheap fan is cheap for a reason. Let's have a look up here. RGB fans. Could always put some Corsair LL120s in there. They're only 22 quid each. That wouldn't increase the value much. Ooh. What's that doing? No. The trouble is with up here fans as well. They do the ones which aren't PWM, and you look at them, you think, oh great, these look amazing. But then you look closely, and it's like, oh shit. Three pin, 4 pin. That's what we're talking about. Currently unavailable. Currently unavailable. Currently unavailable. Currently unavailable. Yeah, basically anything with 4 pin is currently unavailable. There's not a lot available. That's a shame. Superdick says, I see, but is the 3 pin 5 volt ARGB connector itself daisy chained, not the fan connector? They both are. The fan connector and also the ARGB is daisy chainable in there. Oh, sorry, it's Superdick. Sorry, I'm talking about something else now. Yeah, the fans for the TechWare M.2, they're daisy chained to each other, and then they go to the reset button. I think there might be a pass-through to your case as well, but I don't think there's any speed control on them at all. So it's all kind of like this custom cabling setup. I'm pretty sure actually that is the case which I took the fans out and sold it with other fans and just left the fans in the box and said, look, if you want to use them at any point you can do, but they're in there. So yeah, you don't need a hub, but then you can't add any more fans to that setup. So it's the TechWare M.2, the fans that come with it, that's kind of it. That's the end of the deal. I don't mind the speed control. If you don't mind speed control and you just want a case with fans in, then yeah, go for it. I would say the TechWare M.2, although it looks nice and it is kind of like a rip-off of the Meshify, I would probably, well, actually no, if you like it, get it. I'm not gonna try and convince you otherwise. Nick Barnes says, what about those Thermalright? Yeah, I just had a look at those actually for 13 quid. I think I tried the black ones before. Maybe they are worse than the white ones somehow. I might order some white ones just to try. See what they're actually like. I am gonna have to have a look actually and see what ARGB case fans are about, because it's getting a bit boring in the market now. 120mm ARGB case fan. So yeah, ID cooling, I've got some for 25 quid for a pack of 3. Thing is, if you're spending £25, you might as well spend an extra fiver and get the Arctic ones. You really should. The Thermalright fans, yeah, you can buy those individually as well. Christ, they're expensive. Some unknown. Actually, the Antec Prism 120s, you get a 5-pack for 58 quid. Yeah, it's probably still not great. You're probably still better off going with the Arctic ones. Cooler Master, no, nothing there. Yeah, I think the Alzeye do some N12, PWM, ARGB, 25 quid, but yeah, you might as well spend the extra money. Akasa Soho, they do a 3-pack. Oh no, that's 57 quid. Screw that. That's way too expensive. Come on, we've got to find a bargain. Easy DIY fab. Nah. Yeah, it does seem that at the moment there is a kind of a weird divide or opening in the market. You've either got the really cool ones, which are a bit expensive, or you've got the actually, what's that? Oh no. Deep Cool FC 120. Oh no. No, that's 37 quid. Okay, you might as well buy the Arctics. I'm going to sneeze. Bless me. Go on, Poppy. Let's have the meow. She normally meows after that.
Fast asleep.
She is. Let's get some Lian Li Unifans. They're only £98.50 for 3. That's a bargain. Oh, actually, that's what I was going to look for. The how much of the thermal take? The thermal take. Nope, not that one. The CT 120s. Yeah, they're ridiculous. They're more expensive than the Arctics. Arguably is good, but a bit pointless, really. What's the matter, Cap?
Okay.
Come on. Is it not for human ears? Okay. Yeah, Thermaltake CT 120s, very nice, but yeah, probably a little bit more expensive. If Thermaltake CT 120s came down to, so I think at the moment they're about £15 each, which is a bit much. I think if they come down to like £10 each, I think it would be the obvious one to buy on the market. Stuart Cleary says, why buy Thermalright RGB fans individually when you can get 3 for 13 quid? Yes, true. I'm gonna get the white ones, the Thermalright white ones. I'm gonna order those, and we'll get those. I will put them on test again because I wasn't overly impressed with the TLC 12C ARGB, whatever they were. So yeah, I wasn't overly impressed. I thought they were a bit noisy, but the white ones potentially going to be a different type of plastic, a different grade of plastic, because you can't make white plastic that cheaply. So I will try those and see what they're like. And I think there's enough interest out there as well, especially now white cases seeming to make a much more of a resurgence. We had a lot of white cases before at some points, but I think now it's on another level altogether. So yes, I think we will definitely take a look at that. So I think what we'll do now, so we've got another, we'll take it to the top of the hour, up to 11 o'clock. So if you've got any last minute questions or anything like that, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've got here which I need to show, demonstrate, etc. There probably is, I forget everything. No, can't see down there. I still need to sort out my life. Including the computers and this whole setup, which is still driving me slightly mad. And we still haven't dropped the frame on there. That's quite impressive. Oh, and actually, I've gone back to using the Intel Arc A770 in my my editing PC. I've taken out the GeForce RTX 4070 Ti. I've given it a bit of a run for its money, video editing, and to be fair, when it comes to video rendering, it's an absolute monster. It renders, how long was the video? A 25-minute video, and I rendered it in H.265, 4K, 30 frames per second, and it was something like 5 minutes, which is ridiculous, because even with a decent graphics card, normally if you can get it to be half the timeline, it's like, that's cool. But to be like, what's that, a fifth? Arguably, say a quarter. That is fast. So if you've got a really long video editing video project that you need rendering, then yeah, you could save yourself a ton of time. But whether or not it's worth the money, I think is one of those questions which is really quite easy to answer. Is a graphics card worth 700 or 800 quid? I think the answer is quite firmly no. Especially when we're in the realm of talking about umming and ahhing over a £13 set of fans. It kind of puts it into perspective, doesn't it? And when you get a 60 quid case. Lucky Man says, told you that 4070 is good. It is good. It's just the price. The price is pretty just ridiculous. William Bodie is saying, yeah, look up Intertech SU280 RGB. I will do. Thank you very much. Kath, write that one down as well, Babs, please. Lucky Man saying about the Lianli Uni AL120 addressable RGB black triple fan with controller, 59 quid at OC UK. I'm not sure about those. I might look at the Lianli fans one day. I try to avoid fans which need software, unless there's a really, really good reason to do so. Yate Computing, how you doing? What about Corsair ML120 slim in white? Yeah, potentially that might work. Actually, what is the what's the other Corsair ones? I've got some there. SP120. Do they do those in white? Corsair? I think they do. SP120 RGB white. Oh yeah, they do. Oh, they call them the AR. Oh, no, SP120. Ooh, yeah, they're a bit expensive. What's the AR then? ARGB compatible at the dot, and these register controllers. Oh right, yeah, Corsair IQ AR120. £33.92. And they don't need IQ. They're just generic ARGB fans by the look of it then. Or does that come with a controller? No, it says no controller needed. They look kind of nice. But it doesn't show the connectivity. Sorry, I'm looking at this, you can't see it, but I would suggest you have a look. Corsair IQ AR120. ARGB compatible without the need for additional controllers. It doesn't say, does it come with a controller? Where's the instructions? God darn it. No need for additional controllers thanks to the included 3-pin ARGB motherboard adapter. ARGB adapter included. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. They don't look too bad. Corsair SP are not PWM though. That is true, they are only DC. David Underhill, my cat loves up here and be quiet. I'm always saying to him, shut up and get up here and be quiet. Laddie Austin House, how you doing? Says, yo Mike, how you doing? Trody Jr. says 133 Thermalright fans for 140.70. Bargain. David Underhill says, I agree, Corsair fans are overrated. I think they are a little bit. I think Corsair in general, I think, is overrated. There's a lot of their stuff. I actually did the review of the Thermal Take CTE T500 Air, which is basically, in terms of size and layout, is very, very much the same as the Corsair 7000D, which is their full tower, but it's like £100 cheaper. But people still buy Corsair stuff because it's Corsair stuff, and it was always seen to be like all the YouTubers were doing it, and it was like a thing. It was like a, if you're going to build the dream PC, what would you have? Corsair case, Corsair fans, Corsair controllers, Corsair this, Corsair that, Corsair keyboard, Corsair mouse, all running through IQ. Craig Gaming, Mick, quick question. I purchased another two Corsair 32 gigs of RAM for my B550 Tomahawk Max Wi-Fi. I tried all 4 and the system didn't boot. Took the new out, but now only RAM slots 1 and 2 work even with the new. Ooh, yeah, that is possibly a dust accumulation in the slot. I would say your best thing to do, I said this in a stream before, say it again, get yourself either some compressed air, an airline or something along those lines, clean out the slots, turn the PC off if need be, get some isopropyl alcohol and a toothbrush or something very fine, just get in there and clean all the contacts up, make sure there's nothing gummed up. If a PC's been in use for a little while, it's going to attract dust, and sometimes just by putting a fresh stick in, because there's dust in there already, you're just pushing the dust further into the slot. So take them out, give them a good clean, and also do the usual, lick the RAM. It sounds stupid, but just do it. Lick both sides of the RAM, wipe it off, almost guaranteed for it to work. Unless you've put one of the RAM sticks in partially and you've short-circuited the slot, which then in turn can potentially damage the controller on the motherboard. But if you're saying slots only 1 and 2 work, that shouldn't work anyway, because slot 1 needs something in slot 3 to work properly. Because slots 2 and 4 are your primary, slots 1 and 3 are your secondary. And slot 2 is with, hang on, yeah, slot 2 and 1 are linked, and slots 3 and 4 are linked. So 4 in and 3 are together, I think. My head's stopped working. No, 3 and 1 and 4 and 2. God, I've lost my mind. Lick the RAM, basically. David Andrew says the cheapest 4070 Ti is, wow, $1,181. Wow, that's a lot of money. Craig Gaming, yep, seen that. Thanks, Dutch Jan. Craig Gaming says, seen your video about licking the RAM, lol. It's true, honestly. There is something in human saliva which breaks down some of the gunk that gets on those golden tabs on the RAM. It works. I've seen it work a couple of times. Freedom House 1984 says, I use Corsair PSUs. By me, they are priced fair and I like their warranty, but I don't really use them for anything else. I could go with that. Yeah, Corsair power supply is generally pretty good. Especially the RM range. Can't go too far wrong with those. Okay, I think that is pretty much time. I've had an absolute shite of a week and I'm starting to really feel the come down now. Let's have a drink of my tea. Craig Gaming as well, back to that. You'll probably find that if you've bought another set of RAM, unless it's exactly the same RAM, like literally put one stick in at a time and check in CPU-Z or something or anything like that. Typhoon reader is always good. And check that the RAM is exactly the same. Same manufacturer, exactly the same timings. Because if it's not exactly the same, mix and matching them is going to be absolutely horrendous. We see this quite a lot. Right, yes, anyway. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for bearing with me. My moment of basically dying on my ass, but getting there. Hopefully next week will be better, and hopefully Thermaltake will pick up the cases and bring some new ones so I can get the reviews done. That'd be great. So if you've liked this stream, smash the like button. If you want to see more content of this, obviously hit subscribe and the chime notification to be notified of future video releases. Also, if you want to, join us on our Discord. Now, actually, on the thing of Discord, some people have said recently, and I've had a couple of emails saying that people are a little bit concerned about using Discord because it spies on you. Yeah, it kind of does, but realistically these days, kind of everything does. You have to take the rough with the smooth. If you enjoy using Discord and you like the camaraderie, the ability to chat and do all that stuff, having your privacy invaded is part and parcel of internet life these days. So I understand if people don't want to use it. Feel free to email me if you don't want to use it. But yeah, otherwise, join us on Discord, especially if you've got any PC problems which are a little bit complex or not easy for me to answer in the YouTube comments. Quite often I will tell people in the YouTube comments, please go to the Discord, because it's going to be a long time to say, have you tried this? And then you wait an hour or two. And, no, think about it. Have you tried this? Maybe. It's like just...
And replies to comments do quite often get missed because they come up differently.
Exactly. So Discord is the way to go if you can. So thank you all very much. Sorry, I'm just reading something. Thank you all very much for joining us tonight. Hopefully you have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and look out for the videos on Monday, which isn't the video that it was supposed to be because of things. But anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Ta-ra! And I don't even know what buttons to press. What do I press? Oh yeah, I remember. Night all. Bye!